Pleasant good evening, everyone. A2DRadio.com proudly brings you Camden High School football presented by the Sports Outlet. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob Povia, joined by Noah Eaton for the pregame festivities, which is being brought to you by Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware. Hit them up, 318 High Street, Burlington, New Jersey. Follow them on Facebook at legendstap.com. Mr. Eaton, how are you, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Povia. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in here on A2DRadio.com. Going to be a dandy ball game tonight. Camden High looks to get off on the high note here, kicking off 2015, and they can't think of a better way than a win over the visiting Highland Tartans.
Absolutely. It's a pleasant evening here at Farm Park in Camden, New Jersey. Now, I looked up on Camden's high school website, and they have a theme this year, and their theme is Change Begins With Me. Well, for this Panther squad, that change began 4 years ago when they brought in Dwayne Savage as their head coach.
Yeah, how about it? I mean, let's look at this. And, you know, we don't want to dwell on the past too much, but from 2003 through 2011, Camden only mustered a 36-56 record, okay? Enter in Dwayne Savage in 2012. They go 5-5. Well, the last two seasons, they only lost 2 football games combined, bringing Savage's overall record through 3 seasons at 24-7. So very impressive stuff. Yes, they've had some near misses in the postseason. Yes, they got upset by Collingswood in the first round of the postseason last year, but they bounced back nicely, defeating their arch rival Woodrow Wilson 41-12 on Thanksgiving Day to end their season, and they look to get off to a good start here in 2015, and hopefully make it back to the postseason. And let's face it, they're looking for a Group 3 state title here.
Yes, they are. Currently ranked number 11 in the state of New Jersey. And the vibe I get from around the field is they have a little bad taste in their mouth from losing to the number 8 seed. They're a great team in Collingswood. No disrespect to them. But this Camden team is one of the cream of the crop in this division, no?
Yeah, no, definitely. And we look for them to compete and win the West Jersey Football League Royal Division and move on to the postseason. And certainly anything less than a Group 3 South Jersey title is a disappointment.
Yeah,
I think the stakes are high, the expectations are high, and certainly why not? When you have 4 FBS recruits and 1 FCS recruit, certainly the stakes should be high. And they look to get off to a great start this season. Conversely, when you look at Highland Regional, well, let's face it, they're where Camden was quite a few years back, still in the rebuilding stages. They're coming off of a 2-8 season last year. This season they come in with Brian Leary as their new head coach, who will begin his first season at the helm. And let's face it, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got kids who like to compete, and definitely who are willing to play hard and will play to the whistle, but certainly they lack some depth and certainly have a lot of work to do. Camden did beat Highland last year 49-14 in their 2014 season opener. So to be honest, I look for a lot of the same this evening. You know, of course Highland will play hard, but I think Camden they got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, they
do.
And
we'll get into that in a moment.
Certainly. With the Tartans here from Highland Regional, one guy I'm looking towards is Orlando Council, number 6 junior running back. The key thing here is they cannot turn over the ball if they are going to be successful against this Camden Panthers team.
Look, when you're an underdog and you're going against a heavyweight opponent like Camden, you must win the turnover battle. You must run the football. And on defense, you must get off the field on 3rd down. And that'll be the key. The key for Highlands defense will be limiting Camden's yardage after contact. If they can get Camden's elusive weapons to the ground, they'll have a chance to possibly stay in this football game.
Absolutely, and going against a bevy of Division I talent, as you said, we are with the Camden Panthers. Even the coach, Brian Leary, knows that they're in for a tough ball game. It's a good football team, but often that underdog team can show up. Camden's got to play discipline. They can't turn over the ball themselves and play good fundamental football, at least until maybe, as we were saying, towards the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. That may be where Camden's looking to run up that scoreboard, maybe rest some of your starters for the next game. But if they can keep it close, that is when you could get a potential upset.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, certainly for Camden, they want to take care of all the little things. They obviously take care of the football. Good clean tackling. Take care of all the fundamentals, and to be honest, their playmaking ability should take care of the rest. I look for Camden to have a very good night tonight and kick off their 2015 season on the right foot. When you look at Drew Harris,
yes,
their transfer from Philadelphia, who came in from Philadelphia, he's got a big arm. And he definitely has a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Absolutely.
You look at Brad Hawkins, Dustin Singleton, Gian Perez. They're definitely playmakers. Dymel Parker on the other side of the football. He'll start at linebacker, but look for him to play a little tight end this evening as well as the game goes on. Obviously, you can't forget about Jamal Holloway, another playmaking threat. And really, I mean, judging by what most likely will be how the game's going to unfold, I look for Camden to run the football a lot, especially in the second half with Damian Thomas. He can definitely churn up a lot of yards as well and come up with a lot of production. Really, on the offensive and defensive lines, you got a lot of two-way linemen who are again, very accomplished here for Camden, who will really bully you on the line of scrimmage. And Aaron Harvey, Quasan Gerald, Stephen Jones, and Cedric Wilson, they're going to really flex their muscle tonight. And look, let's face it, 99% of games are won and lost at the line of scrimmage, and I look for Camden to heavily dominate the line of scrimmage tonight.
Champ Wilson coming off of Defensive Player of the Year last year. So certainly the defensive side of the ball, they're just as strong as they are on the offensive side of the ball. Now, when it comes to Damian Thomas, he can carry that workload. Now, he's the starter, the only one listed on the running back depth. If they need to turn to someone else, Noah, who could they turn towards on the carrying the football?
I mean, you got Terrence Moore. I think he'll get quite a few carries tonight as well. I think it's going to be a full-throttle team effort. To be honest with you, I'll be real surprised if many of the starters are still playing in this game as the game unfolds in the fourth quarter, especially if this game becomes, for lack of a better term, a blowout. I look for Camden to pull their starters starting in the middle of the third quarter.
Do you have a pregame prediction for how this game turns out?
I predict a good, clean football game. I think I think they're gonna have no problem taking care of business tonight at home.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think something would really have to happen dramatically, hoping that all the players stay healthy, which is certainly first and foremost on the high school level. A lot of Division I potential athletes coming out.
Tell you what, let's sum it up quick. The only way Highland has any chance to stay in this game and maybe steal it is if they run the football with Orlando Council, not turn the football over, and let's face it, have a few balls bounce their way, maybe a little luck on their side. That's the only way they're going to stay in this one. All in all, I think Camden looks to get off onto the right foot.
Absolutely, and that's what we're here to present to you on A2DRadio.com. The game is being brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Visit them, 703 Black Horse Pike, Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call, 856-939-2030, or you can find them online, thesportsoutletinc.com. So it's just about game time here in Farnham Park, Camden, New Jersey. Your number 11 Camden High Panthers are getting set as the band is getting ready to kick this game off on the field. Bringing you the calls, Dan Fritz, Zach Burr, and Tom Arnaud. Keep it there for Camden football here on A2DRadio.com.
And once again, welcome back to A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com. Dan Fritz with you alongside me, Zach Bird, Tom Arnone joining us just a minute for our producer on site, Matt Sinsudi. Again, welcome to the West Jersey Football League. Camden High School getting ready to set things off. And Zach and Tom, as the boys made mention to during the pregame show, a good football game ahead of us, but more than likely Camden looks to handle things very easily, but not to rule out the Highland Tartans just yet, but they do have a daunting task in front of them. As we had an opportunity to talk with head coach Brian Leary, this is his first year at the helm of the Tartans, and Zach, when we talked with him in the pregame, he made reference to as far as tonight being a good gauge for his team going forward. They came off of a nice scrimmage against Overbrook on the 3rd of September, 32-8 with a win, scoring all their points in the first half, but tonight will definitely be that first true test of their mettle, facing a team with the talent and the skill set that of the Camden Panthers.
Well, yeah, I think you nailed it on the head, Danny. You know, he knows this is going to be a challenge for his guys, but he likes the fact that he gets to figure out where his team is early on in the year with an opponent like this. You mentioned he really, really liked the performance of his starters in that scrimmage on September 3rd against Overbrook. They scored all their points in the first half, all 32 of them, and went on to win 32-8. So, you know, he wants to see more of that. Obviously, their offense seems to be clicking on all cylinders as they come into the regular season. He wants to keep it that way here in this one.
And bringing in Tom Arnone. And Tom, again, just like the boys said, you know, Highland, the only way that they are going to have a significant chance, unless something dramatic happens, is to rely on their running game and that of their running back, Mr. Council, taking care of things, but also controlling the pace of the game itself.
Yeah, when you talk to Brian Leary, that's really what he wanted to do in this football game. He needs to control the football with Orlando Council, keep possession of the football longer, win the possession battle, time of possession battle, and try to slow down Camden, which is up-tempo, high speed, and try to control the pace in this football game. And if they can do that, they can hang in this game.
We'll see how it does play out as Highland has come out onto the field now, just waiting as the band starts up for the Panthers to take the field. Here in Camden City, again, game time temperatures are going to be 83 degrees and a beautiful partly cloudy sky here in Camden City. And as we are getting set, the public address announcer bringing out the Camden Panthers and taking a look again, going back to the pregame show as well, the talent that is on this team. You have several people going not only to Division I schools, but several people going to premier schools. You have, Michigan's going to be well represented. Syracuse is going to be well represented. Penn State as well. It just bodes volumes for this program, in which that head coach, Dwayne Savage, in this his 4th year, has gotten 24 wins on his campaign under his watch. And when we asked him before the game started, how does he keep this players motivated? How does he keep them focused? The answer in its exact detail we cannot really reveal to you on the air, but pretty much at no nonsense. It's all about business. So one thing that I'm not sure of that the boys made mention during the pregame show as far as pulling the starters, he may or may not. He may tell them no to try to run things down as much as he can, but I don't think he's going to go quite to the reserves in going forward, and especially when you look at the upcoming schedule for Camden, as we look ahead past tonight, Delsey, Cumberland, and Willingboro, again, 3 other opponents to come through, all of them to be formidable tests for Camden to keep their season at hand. So we'll see as far as when the reserves do or do not come in as this game plays out. Right now, the captains on the field with referee Bill Murphy getting ready for the coin toss, side selection, and we are just a few moments away from Camden taking the field. Tom, how are you looking at tonight's game as far as the Camden side of the football? Again, we talked about Highland as far as their running game. What are some of the keys of the game for you in regards for Camden?
Well, first off, I think it starts on the defense side of the ball with Jamal Holloway. Going to Syracuse, big-time program. Got a chance to talk to Jamal Holloway at the Larry Gaines tournament. Great kid. And I think with Camden, bitter taste in their mouth. Losing to 8-seed Collingswood in the first round of the playoffs last year, as them being a 1-seed going through undefeated. And Danny, when you talk about getting knocked out early and maybe pulling starters early in this game tonight, I think when we talk to Coach Dwayne Savage, he's going to keep them in, let them play, so there's no letdowns with this football team anymore like it's been for the last 2 football seasons.
The coin toss just occurred. Camden deferred. Highland will receive. They are going to take the left end on your screen. They're going to be going left to right. Camden will be going right to left when they come out. We are just about set and ready to go. We are going to take a step aside as the Camden Panthers take it to the field. We'll take a step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, the opening kickoff. Once again, thank you for logging on to HED Radio, HEDradio.com's coverage of Camden High School football.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider.
Legends Tap is now a sponsor of Doane Academy Basketball and A2DRadio.com. This season, the Doane Academy Basketball Coaches Show will broadcast live every week from Legends Tap, located at 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey, with an assorted menu of appetizers, Italian dishes, gourmet pizza, and of course, always the best selection of craft beers. Legends Tap has a menu that can only be defined as legendary. Come check out Legends Tap today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. With over 40 years of customer experience, giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and founder of HEDradio.com. What if I told you I knew the best caterer in the business? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's Obie's Catering. You can contact Obie's Catering at cateringbyobie@yahoo.com or give Chris O'Brien a call at 856-534-8410. Graduations, the wedding rehearsals, to just if you need food cooked in your house. He'll do it all. He's trying to change the world one dish at a time. That's Obie's Catering. Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tommy A from HEDradio.com sent you, and you get 20% off.
Hey, if you're interested in buying, selling, or renting a house, call Kingsgate Realty at 856-931-1200. Ask for Patrick Pokikio or visit their website at kingsgatere.com, located at 57 West Kings Highway, Mount Ephraim, New Jersey.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Camden City. The national anthem played, a moment of silence held honoring those that we lost 14 years ago today and the tragedies that occurred in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, our Pentagon, New York City, as the anniversary of 9/11 is upon us once again. The teams, both sides, honoring America and those again lost in a beautiful moment of silence as the Camden Marching Panthers led us for the national anthem. They're getting ready to come into the stands right now, so we're going to have excellent company here for Camden City High School football. Today's game brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. 703 Black Horse Pike, Glendora, New Jersey. 856-939-2030, or check them out on the web at sportsoutletinc.com. Zach, Tom, players coming out to the field again. Highland coming out in the road whites with powder blue trim. Black pants, they're going to be going from left to right as we see it. The Panthers taking the field in the purple and gold and white. White pants, they're going to be going from right to left. A beautiful night for football here in Camden City. What better way to listen to it and then watch it later on here on As he said, let's go, A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com, as we get set to start off the 2015 football season. Once again, the referees for tonight's contest, Mr. Bill Murphy, Mark Wood, Bucky Russell, Mike Relly, and Joe Verna will handle the matters on the turf here at Camden High School, as the Panthers are set to get things set and underway.
I am part of the band now as well, so you guys know.
Well, at least you won't be lonely. A little bit of tight quarters here in the booth at Camden High School. So as we are getting set for the opening kickoff, Ron Wharton Jr. is set, the 5'10 junior. Sends it off. Deep kick to about the 15-yard line. Highland brings it up through the middle and is immediately brought down at about the 26-yard line. And Highland will come out to get things set underway. We'll see what Gabe Maritano can do for his team, going up against the number 11 ranked in the state Camden Panthers. And Zach, we said before in the pregame, we said as we came on the air today, we'll see what happens. We'll see how well that Highland is able to control Camden and take care of things with this high-flying offense. The officials spot the 28.
First quarter is brought to you by the Kingsgate Realty Studios. If you're interested in buying, selling, or renting a house, go to Kingsgate Realty, 57 West Kings Highway in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey.
First play, handoff off the left tackle, gain of a couple of yards, looks like maybe about 3 or 4 depending on the spot, as we have the first play underway here at Camden.
Gain of a couple, second down
And that's what Highland needs to do here. You know, get 3-4 yards of carry, control the game. That's the only chance they have in this football game. And they need some turnovers too. But that's how you got to start it. It's a good first run from Highland.
For Highland again, slow and steady is definitely going to win the pace, as coming out under center, single setback. Handoff to the right side once again. Council goes off tackle, gain of only a couple once again.
Deron Hicks and Jamal Holloway on the tackle for Camden, running a 4-3 defense to start off the game.
Third down, 7 to go as the band gets rocking and rolling right in front of us. Give us a few seconds here to make a adjustment or two.
See if Camden's one of those playmakers here on defense, one of those 5 Division I players can make a third down stand here, Danny.
3rd and 5, ball on the 38-yard line. 10:35 left to go here in the opening quarter. Highland comes out once again under center. Offset back to the right. Little movement on the line. No, up flags are thrown. Looks like both lines may have jumped. We'll wait on the call.
Penalty against Highland.
False start offense.
So Highland's going to get backed up 5 more yards, now making it a longer trip to get to the first down line. 3rd down, 10:27 is on the clock as we start things off once again. So now Highland's going to have to go to the air and rely on the arm of Martirano.
Not the way you want to start your Highland right there, to back yourself up, put yourself in a pass situation. For Camden, you know, you're looking at number 19, Jamal Holloway, and also Ron Johnson can pin their ears back and go get him right now.
3rd down, 10 to go. Ball back on the 26, 27-yard line. Shotgun formation, slot to the near side. Ball spotted just inside the near side hash. Here's the snap. Drops back, draw, trying to come up the middle, and immediately stopped at about the 25-yard line. So another loss on it, and Highland will have to come out and punt.
Crystal ball's out, gentlemen. That's Ron Johnson on the sack right there. And there's, you know, players to spotlight on defense. And I'm going to keep saying it, Jamal Holloway, Ron Johnson, 2 big-time players, big up front for Camden. Good start for Camden.
Unfortunately, a player for Highland that we may be seeing often this evening, Sean David, the 6'1 senior, back to punt and set to come back to receive. Camden set up at their own 40-yard line. And that looks like Anthony Ford for Camden. Low knuckleball kick, bounces once at the 50-yard line. Picking it up is Hawkins, He has to cover it. The ball is loose, and Highland's going to pick it up. They retain possession and the ball in Camden territory. Ball to be spotted, the near side 40.
And that's Brad Hawkins trying to do too much for Camden right there. Let the ball bounce, get your offense on the field. And we talk about Highland staying in the football game. That's a good start for them to stay in this game.
Once it should hopped him like that, he should have just let it go. Back away from it. Don't touch it. You had a bunch of Highland guys swimming down on him. He touched it. You saw what happened.
9:15 left to go as once again Highland has the ball. 1st and 10. Ball on the Camden 41-yard line. The ball spot at the near side hash as Highland gets set to come out for a second breath here in the first stanza for tonight's game.
And Brad Hawkins, who's a senior, you wouldn't expect that from, maybe from a sophomore or junior, but he's been playing for a while. You wouldn't expect that kind of mistake early on.
Undoubtedly, the coach will have a few words for him when he comes back to the sideline. Now the ball is snapped. Roll out left side. Martirano rolling left side. Dumps it off the middle to the left wing. Gain of about 4. So Highland able to dodge a bullet and keeping the drive alive. Spencer Smith on the reception for Highland. 2nd down, calling it 6. Ball spotted on the far side hash mark.
Great play call by Highland right there. A little play action, get your quarterback to roll out a little bit, an open receiver, and a little trickery right there. You know, Camden's expecting to run a heavy dose of Orlando Council, and play action works out well for Highland.
Well, one thing that we noticed as far as Martirano is, like, we wondered as far as his accuracy downfield. We'll be interesting to see if he has to go 10, 15 yards down, as now he's under center. Ball snapped, handoff up the middle is Council. He'll get a small gain and bring up 3rd down for the Tartans.
Let me tell you something. Orlando Council is not 215. I'm going to call a lie right now on this roster. I'm thinking about 225, 230 at least.
I'll give you 230 in opening the bid there. The media guide listing him as what Tom just made mention once a moment ago. But Highland now with the ball spotted far side hash. 8:42 left to go. 3rd down, 3 to go after the fumble recovery by the Tartans. Coming out under center, single setback, Council in the backfield.
See if they run it here.
Now motion Council up the middle, has some room, gets across the 30-yard line, and will have the 1st down for the Tartans as he went off of the right guard position. 1st down for Highland with 8:20 left to go.
For Highland, it looks like it's going to be a steady dose of running the ball here, Danny. They're not going to the air very often. They've had 2 third downs with a chance. They've tried to run it twice.
Hey, Zach, you talk about it. They're going to throw the ball. I think they got to get it done on 1st down.
Definitely going to have to spread it out again more for the running play for Council. We are going to see him take a significant number of snaps as this day goes on. But once again, Martirano comes out, I formation under center. Strong side to the left, little flinch from Camden, but no call. Council once again going off the left side, towards the left side hash marks. The mob is pressing forward for a good gain. Ball down to about the 20-yard line as we see it. So a good chunk of real estate brought in by the visitors and should bring up a 2nd and short situation.
You got to be impressed by the way they start out this football game on the ground. I mean, you come into playing a team that you know can put up a ton of points, and it's hard to stick to your game plan. And so far, Highland has stuck to their game plan of running the football.
And the ball is at the 20-yard line, so that means they're in the red zone. Every trip to the red zone is brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center. Call Mike Scanzano at 1-856-465-6637.
Highland now once again I formation, strong side to the left, handoff Council going off to the right. Camden ripping away at it, trying to force a turnover. Gain of 1 may have enough for the 1st down depending on the spot, as we have 7 minutes left to go here in the 1st quarter.
You can also call John Scanzano at 856-889-3434. The Scanzano brothers run the Scanzano Sports Center.
On the spot, it's a bit close, but it'll come up 3rd and short. Ball spotted on the Camden 18-yard line.
Take a guess this ball's going to Orlando Council right here?
I would say that is a fair guess, my good friend.
Let's see if Camden loads the box here and goes all-out run blitz.
But now would probably be a good time for a little dump-off pass, maybe something into the flat, just to throw Camden off of its timing. I formation once again. Quarterback keeper calls his own number and punches it forward and may have just enough for the 1st down. They move the chains.
That looked like Ron Johnson that got phenomenal pressure for Camden up the middle. Martirano just barely got it. Johnson was the first one to hit him.
Yeah, give credit to Martirano for holding on to that football, because Ron Johnson, that's the old hit stick in Madden right there.
Martirano listed in the program 6'2", 170, so using that lean frame of his to find any open real estate off the line and get enough to keep this drive alive. 1st and 10, ball spotted on what looks to be about the 17-yard line, the near side hash. I formation seems to work for the Tartans. They come out of the huddle. Council once again left side with the holes, got some room, powers his way down to about the 12-yard line. Working their way up the field, the visitors, with 5:42 left to go.
Hey, they're coming in here and saying, we're going to run the football down your throat. You stop us. We're going to do our game. Everybody here in the stadium knows they're running the football, and now it's time for Camden to make adjustments, start loading the box up.
And Coach Leary said, top of the show, this is going to be a good gauge for his team. So his team's mettle being tested early and often, and they're not showing signs of straying away from that plan. Once again, coming out, the I formation, Martirano under center.
Still in a 4-3 defense.
The ball is snapped. Council, left side, cuts back towards the middle, still working his way up between the hash marks and gets down to about the 6. The drive continues. 3rd and a couple coming up now for Highland with just under 5 minutes left to go.
It's a big 3rd down right here, too, because if you're Highland, you can come into this football stadium, hostile environment anytime you're on the road in any sport. And right here, you're coming to Camden High on Friday night, open the season off. You can get off to a 7-0 start. That's a great look for your football team.
We'll see if they're able to do it. Again, 3rd and short, ball spotted at about the 7-yard line from where we are sitting. Again, Highland moving left to right, I formation. The handoff. Council once again getting the number called off to the left tackle. He goes and looks like to have enough for the first down. The drive continues.
Yeah, there's 230 right down your throat right there, Zach, right? I mean, I don't think that's 215 because that's 230 pounding the football.
And we talked about it. It was talked about during the pregame show. This is what Highland Regional wants to do offensively.
It'll be interesting to see what Camden does in rebuttal when they get the ball back at whatever point that may be. 4:15 left to go as Highland continuing this drive in the red zone. First and goal to go.
Sorry, Danny. Eating up a ton of clock, too.
Different number gets called off the I formation. This is going to be for a significant loss. Looks like Greg Butler got the ring. He goes off to the left a little bit, but Camden's defensive line able to get the pressure for the loss, and that'll back up Highland a couple. 2nd and goal, ball on about the 8.
Tackles made by number 18, Matthew Parker, outside linebacker, junior, 6'1", 195. Ton of talent here for Camden, but I continue to see him in the 4-3 right now, and I wonder if they start bringing an extra guy into the box. Maybe they bring the safety down and say, hey, if you're going to beat us, throw it over top that.
Martirano gets the play coming in from the bench. They come out of the huddle. Once again, under center, the I formation. Council with some motion now offset to the right. Council from the weak side. Fake, roll out right, has opening in the end zone, throws low and incomplete. The pass intended for Spencer Smith, but unfortunately Martirano could not get the elevation on it. So now, this will be interesting to see what the Highland coaching staff wants to do. Brian Leary comes out to talk with his quarterback.
And the pressure right there was for Deron Hicks, the cornerback, senior, 6'1", 175. And look like the coaches were yelling at him, and he wasn't supposed to come in on that blitz because he left the wide receiver wide open. But either way, got some pressure in the quarterback's face, made him throw a bad ball.
Tommy, you said a moment ago the 3rd down play then, a big play this drive. This one equally as important. 3rd and goal, ball spotted on the 7-yard line, just roughly the far side hash. I formation, Council gets the call. And a pitch out towards the left side. Camden's defense not fooled with it as the ball is brought down just about on the numbers on the far side.
Number 6, Brad Hawkins on the tackle for Camden. Free safety making up for the fumble coming up there, shooting a gap. But you can tell right there, Camden, they brought a lot of pressure on that. It was a run blitz all the way.
I think everybody in the stadium thought it was going to Council, and they faked it and pitched it outside the McBride.
Ball spotted the previous line of scrimmage, 4th and goal on the 5-yard line. 2:40 left to go here in the opening quarter as Highland continuing this opening drive after the fumble recovery from the punt. Now an opportunity to punch it in.
Either way, great drive.
Very good job for the visiting squad as now a timeout is called. And Highland is going to call timeout. 2:25 left to go here in the first quarter. We have a timeout on the field. You are listening to Camden High School football here on A2D Radio, a2dradio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Martino Roofing. With more than 15 years of roofing experience, they have all the services that you need, whether it's new construction, tear-offs, replacements, or re-roofs for your residential or commercial business. They'll provide a detailed service in a timely and professional manner. So you can give them a call for a free consultation at 609-792-5103. Send them an email at martinoroofing@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.martinoroofingllc.com. The number again is 609-792-5103. Martino Roofing.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
High school football here in Camden City, but the visitors are knocking on the door. 4th and goal, ball spotted on the 5-yard line at the far side hash. Dan Fritz, Tom Arnone, Zach Burr here with you for opening night of this 2015 campaign for the Panthers. Right now they're trying to stop their guests and get the ball back for their first opportunity. And once again, we have more whistles.
Another
timeout is called, but we will stay here for this one. As you know, we talked about before, and even on the break, Highland comes in the opening drive, and they are taking up the majority of this first quarter clock down, as luck was in their favor off of the misread from the punt. They get the ball back. They've driven down pretty much up the middle of the field. Council's number getting called on many of occasions, and now they have an opportunity, a little bit of a tall one, but still 5 yards to pay dirt. And as you said before, Tommy, it'd be tremendous for the team to come in on the opening drive against the number 11 ranked team in the state and put at least six up on the board on opening night.
And just say hello to them. Hey, we're here to play football with you. You know, all 4 quarters here. We're not scared of you. But bigger than this is a 4th and 5, and this is where Highland's going to have to win this football game. At some point, you got to make a play in the air. And I think this is where you got to. At 4th and 5, I don't know if they're going to be able to run the football for a touchdown here.
All timeouts on the field are brought to you by Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware, 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey.
Highland breaks the huddle, coming out once again. Now, twin receivers both sides, Council offset right, under center. Here's Martirano once again. Here's the snap. Drops back, fires over the middle, intercepted by Camden, and is picked off with some room. Looks like it's going to be a pick 6. Camden going 15. This is DeMel Parker to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Panthers off of the read in the middle. And just that fast, Highland says hello, and Camden replies, "How are you doing this evening?"
Maybe goodbye, because, listen, I said they got to be able to throw the football at some point in this football game. And there you go. I mean, at some point it's going to be passing down. So you got to get it done. And for Parker, the senior stepping up big.
The Syracuse commit.
Well, that's Jamal Holloway, Syracuse commit.
DeMel Parker, too, joining them in Syracuse.
They're both going to the queue,
Going to Syracuse.
One of our colleagues, Brian Wilson, very excited to see that one.
Has a lot to look forward to, and especially after that. So now the Panthers, an opportunity to make it 7-0, give Highland the ball right back. So Highland, for as much as they took off the clock, Camden did not need much at all to get it right back in there.
Zach Burr, you are right. Just like to confirm. I only mentioned Mahalo. I didn't meet Parker yet. So
Wharton set for the point after 10 for Camden. Low snap, picked it up. Wharton puts it up and through the uprights. Camden is on top, 7-0. 2:10 left to go here in the first quarter, and the offense has not even come off the bench. So now, what's that do to your game plan if you're Highland getting ready to come back out again?
Listen, first off, your defense can be a little tired for Camden, but, I mean, you're up. Camden's up 7-0. Like you said, Danny, they haven't even taken a snap on offense. That's demoralizing if you're Highland. Well, they haven't even touched the ball offensively, and they're beating us. Not a good start.
Boys, are you a little surprised that Highland didn't put the ball in Council's stomach there on 4th and goal?
No, 4th and 5. I mean, I think you become one-dimensional.
Yeah, okay. I would have definitely called for a pass play as well. You only got 5 yards. It was a short distance. Just unfortunately, they picked it. They read it right. And we watched Martirano's mechanics and his footwork. They just picked up on his eyesight, caught it up over the middle, and once again, Camden able to run it back and put 6 back up on the board. So once again, Highland will start another drive and see how it goes. 2:10 left to go here in the opening quarter. Camden now once again set to kick off right to left as we see it.
I guess what you got to say to your kids is, here, listen, we took the ball down their throat. We got to continue our game plan.
Just keep doing it.
And, can't turn the football over. Right now, turnover about a 1-1.
Wharton is set for the kickoff at the 40-yard line. Sends a good end-over-end kick down to about the 15. Little confusion, but Highland bringing it upfield with some room up through the middle and then bent in half at the 30-yard line.
30-yard line, 1st and 10. Highland.
Looks like Jason Pinnock for Highland. And once again, they will set up shop, ball on their own 20.
Big hit that time.
Daquan Dixon, Zach. Daquan Dixon, number 25 with that hit, the senior outside linebacker with another hit stick here.
As Highland gets set to come out of the huddle, the defense once again on the field. And like Tom said a moment ago, Zach, the defense for Camden's going to have a lot of time on the field. 2:05 left to go. The offense unit is enjoying an early rest. But right now they're back to work with the defense. I formation once again. Council gets the call off the quarterback's right side. Runs into some competition, this time with a small gain. Gets out to about the 32-33-yard line.
Zach, Danny, if you notice right there, now Camden brings 8 in the box.
Yeah.
So they were going 4-3, keeping it simple, and now they had that extra man to the box, try to stop the run here.
Second down and
It was Jamal Holloway and Joshua Clark that combined for the tackle there for Camden.
And no doubt Coach Savage is going to throw a different defensive look at Highland this go around to keep them on their heels as well. They don't want them tracing up the middle of the field as they did a moment ago. With 90 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, Highland comes out once again, moving from left to right as we see it. Motion on the right side, handoff off the left wing with some room on the sweep, but not much there. The ball to the turf as Tom Arnott is called. Highland looks to may have picked it back up, but still will bring up third down.
tough Camden defense.
Matthew McBride got the call for the sweep off the left, but was only able to pick up a couple off of it. Ball spotted, the far side hash, 35-yard line. 48 seconds left to go, 3rd and 5.
Do you bring the blitz this time if you're Camden with all those athletes on the defensive side of the ball?
Hey, Zach, I leave 3 guys playing defensive back for me, and I bring everybody else.
Okay.
Beat me in the air.
Let's see if Camden does send the house. Shotgun formation, slot to the near side. 26 seconds left, the ball is snapped. Fake handoff, drops back. In trouble, now going out to the left side, and the quarterback, keeping it himself, gets out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, keeping the drive alive. 1st and 10 now for the Tartans. The ball to be spotted at their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, Ron Johnson almost had him there on the sack, and Moderano doing a good job of getting out of the pocket and running for a first down right there.
Yeah, real athletic play by Moderano to get out of the pocket and scramble for the first down. That was well done.
20 seconds left to go. 7-0 to score here at Camden High School off of the pick 6 a moment ago. Highland once again starting the drive in their own territory and still keeping things alive as now they have under center. Single setback. Camden looks showing blitz. Council gets the call once again up the middle with room. And Council picks up about 13 yards on his own as the ball is spotted at about the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tartans as they move into Camden territory. 10 seconds and counting. They may just let the first quarter end.
Isaiah Enfield on the tackle there for Camden. Well, really, he had the help of Orlando Council there. Orlando Council running him over, but Enfield able to hold on for the tackle.
The whistle sounds for the end of the first quarter. The first quarter once again brought to you by Kingsgate Realty Studios. If you're interested in buying, selling, or renting a house, contact Kingsgate Realty. Call Patrick Baccio. The phone number 856-931-1200. Kingsgate Realty bringing you the first quarter action here at Camden High School. And Zach, if you're looking at from Highland, you have to consider, even though the scoreboard says otherwise, guys, you have to consider the first quarter a success. It's only 7-0. The one error was the one problem that you had, as the brass section below us is just blowing us out of the booth here.
Well, yeah, I think if you're Highland, offensively, you did what you wanted to do. You kept the ball on the ground, you pounded the rock, and you had success with it. You were able to move the ball down the field. You had the interception inside the 5, but you had to get there, right? They got there with a chance to score.
Guys, if you look at stats here for Camden so far defensively, Ron Johnson leading the team 4 tackles so far, 1 for a loss. You also have, we got Emil Parker actually had the interception, 99 yards for a touchdown. He also has 2 tackles. And Brad Hawkins forced the fumble, didn't jump back on it. So there's some stats for you.
So Highland comes out now to start the second quarter, now moving from right to left on our screen as they set under center. Handoff Council up the middle. He works his way for a couple before the secondary jumps in and brings him down. The second quarter here brought to you by Philly Sports Bar, 31 South Black Horse Pike, Runnymede, New Jersey, 856-939-4322. Philly Sports Bar just there the other night for AM in the PM here at HUD Radio, HUDradio.com. A great atmosphere for the live show, a great atmosphere here for tonight, as Tom Arnone is kind of leaning in and out of the booth here to.
Because Monterano actually held on to that football.
Yeah.
I just noticed it. Monterano held on to the football, and Thomas actually, the middle linebacker, came up and tackled him. So it actually was a loss on the play.
Okay,
Damian Thomas.
My eyesight is going, so I'll check the glasses. Highland now faced with a 2nd and 12. Some motion in the backfield. Now, once again, getting the call, McBride. McBride going off a left tackle. Gets roughly about back to the original line of scrimmage. But once again, Highland will be faced with 3rd and long. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line, the near side hash. So we'll see what Highland's going to pull out this time. Will Council get the call, or Moderano get the call himself? Or will Coach Leary have something else up his sleeve with 10:43 and counting left to go here in the first half?
And Anthony Ford, number 5 on the tackle for Camden, middle linebacker senior, 6'1", 205. Seeing a bunch of seniors on that Camden defense.
Well, and that was another thing that Coach Leary spoke of as well before the game started. He knows that he's got a young squad. Yeah. So if you can come in here and at least keep Camden honest, that will do nothing but bode well for your team, and especially in the coach's first year at the helm. Shotgun, ball drop back. Moderano rolling out left. He's going to run out of room and gets drilled out of bounds.
Wow, late
flag is going to be thrown for a late hit, and the coaching staff is not liking it. Bill Murphy threw the flag himself, and that's going to give Highland a first down on the contact.
And that was on Anthony Ford right there, chasing down Monterano, tackling him out of bounds. Maybe a little late. We had a tough angle on it over here, but
even from here, I mean, it looked like he was pretty close to the line. Questionable, flip of a coin as far as how you want to call it, but Bill Murphy favoring for the side of safety towards the quarterback, giving the ball for Highland. Now 1st and 10, the ball to be spotted at about the 34-yard line of Camden.
Cedric Wilson actually coming in right now for Anthony Ford, so maybe the coaching staff did think he hit him out of bounds because he's coming out for a play.
And so much, you see, whether it be the high school, whether it be the collegiate, whether it be the professional leagues, everybody is always talking about safety, especially with concussions, and especially pertaining to the quarterbacks. As Highland comes out of the huddle, I formation.
Think they're running here?
Now they got a receiver wide right. Council's in the backfield, the ball left. Council once again off the left tackle. Gets some room in a gain of about 6. So Highland once again keeping the ball on the ground and driving the football as they head closer and closer to the red zone.
Number 6, Brad Hawkins coming up there, flying up there to try to make the tackle. Was able to slow Council down a little bit.
2nd down and about 5. Ball spotted the near side hash at the 29-yard line. Highland moving from right to left. Coming out once again, the I formation, single receiver, far right wing. Moderano takes it. Handoff, Council gets a couple and leans into for maybe one more. Gain of about 2 or 3 will bring up 3rd and short with 9:25 left to go here in the opening half.
And that's Jamal Holloway on the tackle with the whole Camden student body there, it seemed like on that one.
Holloway, he's been in on a lot of plays early on in this football game.
Zach, we talk about him a lot, and he's actually playing DN here
for
Camden, but the next level, he's actually going to be playing linebacker at Syracuse. So just keep an eye on him. Real athletic, and I think what Syracuse saw is a guy that can turn into an outside linebacker.
6'4", 225, got the next level size.
I met him. He's a lot. I think I'm a pretty decently big dude. He towers over me at 18 years old.
I wouldn't want to face him, not even in a lit alley. 8:50 left to go here in the second quarter. Council now the lone setback for Highland. Handoff, little pitch to the left side. Council gets the call, gets close, depending on the spot. We'll see. And yes, they move the chains. First down for the Tartans, and the drive continues. 8:37 left to go here in a second.
Hey, man, the band, the people in the stands, the fans, the people at Highland, us, the people upstairs, everybody know they're running the football right there. Everybody knew it. And they're doing a great job. So sometimes you tip your hat to the other team and say, Highland, you know what, you're just running the football well.
When you got a 230-pound running back, I mean, he's just wearing them down right now.
Well, now, hold on a second, guys. Before you put everything into the hands of the running back, the lineman of this conversation will step in and say, it's the guys up front that are making you those holes. Fair point. 8:15 left to go as Highland breaks the huddle. I formation now. Receivers wide out both sides. Ball on the near side hash at the 24-yard line. Here's the snap. Council once again, left tackle. Does not get much as he's brought down.
Hey, Mom, there's that man again. Jamal Holloway, another tackle. Looked like Camden jumped right there, but no flag. But you talk about Highland running the football, Danny, and you talk about starting up front. Well, it's got to start with number 74, Mike Lovendusky. 6'6", 280. That tackle to start the road grader.
It's the kind of guy you have nightmares about for 3 weeks.
Was Lovendusky the way you say?
Sounded good to me. 7:30 left to go as the huddle is broken. Highland once again coming out now. Single setback, strong side left as Council's in the backfield. Under center, now motion McBride. Council up the middle, stuffed, but he still keeps the legs moving and gets a little bit maybe to the right, but not much for a significant there as Joshua Clark for Camden.
Hold on for dear life.
He had great penetration. Josh Clark, first one to the football, hit him in the backfield. And you mentioned, though, Danny, Council being so strong, I mean, he was able to just push the pile there a little bit.
And that's the thing with somebody like Council. I mean, if you're a defensive lineman, you got to watch those high hits. Because you wrap him high, those legs are going to keep moving, and you're going to have a pile moving with him. So Camden's got to be careful there. The wrong bounce, he spins out, and he's off to the house for 6 more in his career. 6:37 left to go as now they break this huddle once again. Council the lone setback. Handoff, fake, pass over the middle. Once again, intercepted by Camden. We may have another pick six as this is Dave Taupin. He's got room all the way up the left side.
No, a flag.
Forget it, 20. A flag is down, though. He's in for 6 right now as Dave Taplin goes to the house pending the flag. We'll see what's going on. Either way, I would presume it's going to be Camden football, maybe about at midfield.
Sophomore free safety.
Yeah, Damian Thomas is going to get called for a block in the back here on the return.
Waiting on Bill Murphy for the official call. As the
coaches.
Camden bench is not happy, and understandably so, as
You didn't
Darian
need to block
Thomas,
anybody. You didn't have to block anybody. He was going.
he was gone.
I think that's why Coach Savage is so upset, saying, you know, he's already going. He's already got the touchdown. Just let him go. Don't block anybody. He's scoring. But at least we see Camden's offense for the first time today, Danny.
Yeah, Camden's offense finally coming out onto the field. 6:16 left to go here in the first half.
That's what Thomas is going to say to Coach Savage. Hey, I just want our offense to get a chance today. You know, it's the first game of the season. We want to get them on the field, too.
I don't think I want to hear that answer. Nor the rebuttal to come. So, the offensive unit for Camden coming out onto the field for the first time. 6:16 left to go in the second quarter as they come out. Shotgun formation, and now we'll see a look at Mr. Harris as he's set. He has a slot to the near side, working from left to right. Harris drops back, passes, and dropped off the first pass. The intended target was Jim Perez. Tried to get it out into the flat, but just could not get it. Harris once again a transfer into Camden, so now he's got 2nd and 10, ball spotted at their own 45-yard line.
Tough spot for him, too, coming in here replacing Williams, who was the all-time leading touchdown thrower in Camden history. And tough shoes to follow, especially transferring in and having to do it.
And he's also got a bit of a task ahead of him, as anytime he looks to his right, he's looking into the sun. So he's not going to have a pleasant second quarter as the sun sets here in Camden City. 6:10 left to go is now shotgun. Drops back, passes out to the right side, and again comes up a little short. Incomplete as the ball bounces off of about the 36-yard line.
He had two guys open. He had Julian Pratt running the seam, too, wide open.
Brad Hawkins, the intended target here on the near side. 6:07 left to go, and that fast, Camden's out on the field. The offense now faced with 3rd and 10.
Interesting to see them come out and throw it 2 straight times. You want to try to maybe run the ball, keep your defense off the field a little bit, and you come out and throw it twice.
And potentially a 3rd time as they break the huddle. Once again, it looks like Harris going to be in shotgun formation. Slot to the near side, ball spotted again, the 45-yard line, the far hash. Here's the snap. Drops back, pressure coming. Highland forces him. Harris runs, keeps it himself, and with room, Harris 40, 35-30. Harris, showing the athleticism, changes field, works his way around, and gets brought down to the near side hash mark, the 20-yard line. The quarterback keeping this drive alive for the Panthers. 5:54 left to go here in the second.
There's an X factor, right? Yeah. Being able to run with the football. I mean, the pressure was coming. Highland was bringing people. They had pressure on Harris, and he may able to escape out of the pocket and break off a big-time run here for Camden.
We were talking to some of the people here at the stadium in the pregame. He said, don't let the 6'1", 175 fool you. The athleticism, the long strides prevalent there, as now Camden is 1st and 10, ball just about at the 21-yard line, working from left to right, ball spotted the near side hash. I formation, handoff off the left side, Thomas with room, up the middle. Camden now has 6 more points to the board, 13-0 with 5:26 left to go.
And a home touchdown brought to you by Gibson Mayer, your certified public accountants. And Thomas wasn't even touched on that one, Danny.
He just, I think he kind of had to get into the end zone after what happened on the defensive side of the ball. So maybe the coach will not have as many loud adjectives with him in the locker room at the half. But still, nonetheless, Camden on top, 13-0, pending the point after attempt from Deion Wharton.
That run right there is a little bit of, hey, that's a number 11 in the state type run right there, right?
Wharton set, Harris the hold, spot, up through the uprights. The Panthers are on top, 14-0 with 5:26 left to go, and Highland will have the ball for the 3rd time. So if you're Highland, how are you looking at things now? Camden's put one up on the defensive side, one up on the offensive side. What are you telling your young squad across the field?
That's a great question, because I don't know what I'm going to tell them. I mean, they've done everything right in terms of controlling the football. Everything that the coach Leary came in saying that we need to do, they did. So at this point, you're down 14-0, but you came in with your game plan and it's working. But you can't be one-dimensional. At some point, you got to be able to throw the football. And Monterano with 2 picks, that's not going to get it done.
And you would hope with the way they're running the ball, at some point it could open up play action. But so far, that's just not what we're seeing from Highland.
I mean, he's throwing the ball. Nobody's around. I mean, he doesn't have receivers in the vicinity. And he's throwing the wide open Camden D-backs.
Right.
Wharton is set for the next kickoff, making sure his team is in line. 5:26 left to go. Off the right foot, line drive to the left hash. Picked up by Highland at about the 15. 20-25 with a seam and some room. Breaking a couple of tackles and finally brought down at about the 44-yard line. Number 34, Brandon Paradise, able to get a good starting position for Highland as the offensive unit for the Tartans once again comes out working from right to left.
Number 22, Kevin Smith, saving tackle right there. If you don't make that tackle, he might be going to the house or at least in the Camden territory. But for Highland, here we go again. We know they can run the football. Can you get a play action going? Can you complete a pass? Maybe just something even shorter to get it going a little bit. So the first completion, but that was it.
So now if you're Highland, 5:20 left to go, you have to look at it at least from a mindset of put some points to the board going into the break. You don't want to be blanked here in the first half of action. Your hosts have you 14-0. Under center now. Camden bringing some pressure. Long bomb thrown up to the right side, but almost picked off. If not a flag, none thrown. So another interception almost came up. This from Terrence Moore, the cornerback. but the receiver for Highland was able to get a hand into it, and it bounced off of his chest, breaking things up. 2nd and 10 now for the Tartans, and just a few ticks taken off the clock.
Yeah, I believe that was Sean David, the wide receiver, that was coming back to the football. Montalvano almost had his 3rd pick. It was David that knocked it away.
Well, and Zach, this is something you and I pointed out in pregame as we watched Moderano try to throw those balls to the wing. I don't know if he has that much of a range. Maybe shorter 5-10 yard strikes out into the flats and up would suit him better, because we saw him having a hard time in the opening warm-ups and getting that accuracy. We've already seen Camden pick 6-1, almost 2, as now they're showing blitz here, and a false start's going to be called on the left tackle for the Tartans, and that is, once again, Mike Lewandowski. We called his name earlier, but he's going to get called for 5 more yards, and they will back it up.
Well, it's worrisome. I mean, if you can't throw the ball on 1st down when everybody in the ballpark thinks you're running the football, I don't know. And then you're throwing to the other hash, too, which is a longer throw, which is a real long throw.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the play calls. I'm okay with you throwing the ball in that situation, but Danny, as you touched on, short pass, what's wrong with the 5-yard slant route in that situation?
You could serve better just getting 5-6 yards at a shot, working your way up the flats.
Well, if you had Joe Flacco as your quarterback, yeah, I mean, you can throw that other side. But
we'd have to go a little further down I-95 for that.
But, a guy who played in South Jersey, right? I mean, a guy who can make that throw. I think you guys are right. 5-10 yard passes.
Once again, Highland coming out now, shotgun formation, slot to the near side. The ball spotted the near side hash. From the snap, drops back with pressure. Council gets a little dump pass up the middle, loses his footing, and only gains up a couple. And once again, Highland is faced with a 3rd and long as we push 5 minutes left to go here in the opening half.
Good play by Ron Johnson to slow that down. But again, that's a great play call.
I love the play call.
I love that play call.
Love it.
Maybe more on 1st, right? I mean, that's a great play call on 1st. But I have no problem with the 1st down play call, to be honest with you, because you got one-on-one coverage on the outside. You got everything you look for in a play call. You got to deliver the throw, right?
Yeah.
Gabe Martirano comes in from the bench, getting the call from the coaching staff. 3rd down, 14 to go. Ball spotted in between the hash marks at about the 37, 38-yard line. Shotgun formation, slot to the far side. The ball snapped. Martirano rolls and gets stuck in the backfield, but he did get rid of it as he tried to hand it off to Council, who did not get much further, and the punting unit will come on, and Highland will send it away, giving Camden another opportunity before they go into the break. They deferred in the first half, so here's a chance for Camden to really slam the door on things, get any points on the board going into the locker room here, and then come back out in the second half and get a couple of more. Could almost seal the deal early in tonight's game.
Anthony Ford with the tackle for Camden right there, and I like the play call because it was a draw setup, but you just didn't get the draw off because you had so much pressure up the middle.
Here's the snap, the punt, high spiral up and down. Fair catch is called at the Panthers' 35-yard line. The reception there by Brad Hawkins. So Camden will once again set up shop, working from left to right. The ball spotted their own 35-yard line. 3:41 left to go here in the first half. And once again, for the second time tonight, the Camden offensive unit comes off the bench.
There we go. I feel like we're still in the first quarter, but you can see on that fair catch, Brad Hawkins you could just tell by his demeanor a little bit the way I saw. Like, don't drop this one. Yeah. Don't drop this one.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Harris comes out now, shotgun formation. Has 2 in the backfield, slot to the near side. And again, 3:41 left to go. Here's the snap. Harris. Roll out left side with some room and a lot of it. This is more to the 30, 20, 10. He might get in. More puts 6 more up onto the board for Camden. Just that fast, 20-0 in favor of the Panthers, and the home side showing off its speed out the left wing. And we do have an injured player down for the Tartans on the field. So we're going to take a quick timeout as we have timeout on the field right now. 20-0 in favor of Camden, pending the point after. Once again, you're listening to Camden City High School football here on A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and operator of A2DRadio.com and host of Agree to Disagree. If I want to go check out a ball game, there's no better place than the Philly Sports Bar located 31 South Black Horse Pike in Runnymede, New Jersey. With over 40 plasma and HD TVs, a brick oven, a 2-story deck, the sports bar has surpassed everyone's expectations. From the one-of-a-kind...
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
Coming back out now for the point after attempt for Camden after that huge run to the house by Camden, waiting for the point after. As once again, getting ready to take it is Wharton. And
Offsides defense.
on a point after attempt.
You go for 2 now.
They back things up into the NFL. I mean, when will they do it for other football leagues?
It'll be a lot of 6-0.
Don't say anything, Tom. It's okay. I know where you're going to go.
How about this, though, with Moore? He's not even their starter, and that explosive speed down the sideline right there. That's not even a starter for them. Thomas is their starter.
That corner, and he was just gone.
I'm getting reports he's their third running back, Danny. That's their third back. Now you see why number 11 in the state right there.
And that's just a lot of depth. The ball is down. The kick is up. And the point after is good. 21-0. 3:30 left to go here in the second half. That home touchdown brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accountants offering personal accounting and tax services, business services, consulting services, business startup, navigation, and more, conveniently located in Yardley, Pennsylvania, just minutes from I-95, Route 1 of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Call 215-369-3300 or visit them on the web at GibsonMayer.com. That's GibsonMayer.com. 21-0 to score. 3.5 left to go here in the opening half, and Camden has almost sealed the deal.
You talk about Gibson Meyer, right? Camden might need to start claiming these touchdowns. Wow.
May have to claim the replacement of shoes from all the running out to the wing. And as like you said, he turned the corner and was just gone that fast. He's 15 yards up. My old eyes can't catch up with that miss. Wharton once again. End over end kick down to about the 20-yard line. Trips over everything and gets down to the 30. Looking, is it McCady?
I think that was Denzel Walker.
Denzel Walker
number
on the
80.
return. So now once again,
If you're Highland, what do you do?
you know, and like you said, Tom, it's a young team. You know, this is going to be a good gauge. Time to put things into perspective. I don't say cash it in, but just get the boys, for lack of a better phrase, get them programmed. Run your plan. Run your routine. When you look at as far as the Royal Division, the media not picking them to do well. They're picking them to finish last. Camden obviously picked to finish first. Highland last year was 1-4 inside the conference. So again, a young team, a new coach. You're playing against the top team. It's okay. You took your licks early. As the first handoff comes up, Council getting up to about 8 yards. And there's the answer right there, Tom. The fact that the offensive line can still do everything that it needs to do within its realm of capabilities. They're getting the holes for Council. Council's getting good yardage. He's getting a better part of, what would you say, 4 or 5 a carry so far tonight on a rough estimate?
Yeah.
He got 8 there. So you stick to your game plan. And if the scoreboard reads that you got blown out on the scoreboard, you still stuck to your plan, and you take that going forward.
And for all intents and purposes, you're doing it against pretty much a Division I line here.
Exactly. And that's, the second half still to come is once again Council gets the call. And here it is again. He's got the room. He punches forward. He's in for the first down, and the drive continues.
I think it'd be a huge boost for Highland just as a program like we talked about, Danny, if they can cash in with a touchdown here before the half.
Yeah, I look at it this way. If they put 10 points on the board tonight, it's a good night.
Agreed.
If they can put 10 points on the board when the final whistle blows, it's a good night for Highland as they take, again, this young team going forward into the rest of the season. Council, just let them do as they come out of the formation now. Once again, I formation. Council deep in the eye. Gets the call once again up the middle, and he gets about 3 or 4 depending on the spot. He's brought down on the near side hash mark at the 45-yard line. 2:12 left to go here in the first half.
Well, it's funny you say that. They had Camden on the ropes early. 2 times down in their end zone, down in the red zone, 2 opportunities to put points up. Both times, one a pick six, another one a pick six that was taken back because of a block in the back. But, you had Camden on the ropes early here in this football game. So when you're Highland, you got to think of that as a positive thing.
And we talked a lot as far as the test of the mettle of the young team. This will also be the test of the mettle of the first-year head coach. And Coach Leary has to be pleased with that opening drive. You got lucky. You got the fumble back. But you were able to take a swing and get connected with Camden as right now they're working. Here's a sweep out the right side, McBride. He gets a couple going out to the far side hash and is brought down just before midfield, but still the drive continuing forward 4 or 5 yards at a shot, which is going to bring up about third and give or take 3 as we're just approaching 1:20 left to go here in the first half.
Guys, that's the area I don't run the football, right? I mean, I don't want anything on the outside against this Camden defense. With the speed they have on the defense side of the football, I want to keep everything up the middle. You want to start letting them run laterally, they're going to tackle you all day.
Third down, 4 to go, 105 and counting here. Ball spotted the hash mark far side 48. Highland comes out once again moving from right to left as we see it. As the lights are now on here in Camden, handoff to Council. He bounces off the right tackle, works his way over towards the sideline, and should have enough for the first down to move the chains. 51 seconds left to go.
Clock stops.
As they move him.
Do you have to put it in the air at some point with 51 seconds, right? I mean, I just feel bad for this Highland football team because they played a good first half without the turnovers. I mean, you're losing the turnover battle 2-1, and that's the last thing we talked about for Highland. You got to win the turnover battle to stay in this football game, and it's been the opposite, which is a shame.
If they go to the air, Tommy, I've been keeping my eye on Alberic Small, number 11 for Highland Regional. He's lined out here to our near side against Hawkins.
From the snap, roll out, and try to get to it, but it's going to get brought down.
Hey, Ma.
As Martinato rolled to his left and got brought down at the 45-yard line. Jamal Holloway
again
with the tackle.
That's that man again.
Mama, here he comes.
That's a great kid, too. I got a chance to interview him at the Larry Gaines. Just a phenomenal kid.
12 seconds left on the clock. Probably just one more time for Highland to see if they can get anything up to the board. 21-0 is the score once again. Thank you for logging on to A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com. Dan Fritz, Zach Burr, Tom Arnone here bringing you the call. Matt Sinsudi, our producer on site. Rob Povia, Noah Eaton coming up in a few minutes with the halftime show here from Camden, starting off the 2015 high school football season. We hope you're enjoying it so far. As Highland is taking a little bit of time. Did they call timeout?
They did. There was a timeout with 12 seconds left. I believe it was Camden that called it, and this timeout is brought to you by Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware, 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey. Call 609-386-3001. And, hey, make sure you follow them on Facebook at Legends Tap.
These guys are driving me crazy out here outside the booth. Oh. Not you. Not you. I'm talking about my guy. My guy's driving me crazy.
They break the huddle now, coming out of the ball spot at the near side hash mark. Again, 12 seconds left to go. Shotgun formation with some movement. Now roll off to the right side.
Throw it.
Little trick play. The ball is thrown deep down the right side. Can't get it as he dives in and can't reel it in. Sean David fully extended out at about the 10-yard line. Could not reel it in. 5 seconds left to go before halftime.
Whew.
How
Nice
would
little
that have
design
been?
there. Well, we're looking for the kid with the big arm. Apparently, he's not playing quarterback for Highland.
Yeah, I wish I could have saw it.
Biagio Bishia rolled out to the right. It looked like he had bobbled the ball a little bit, but just uncorked a bomb. And he's listed as a wide receiver and cornerback, the junior, 5'7", $155.
With a cannon.
I just unloaded one. Just unfortunately, just a half a step off. And now Highland will have one more play with 5 seconds left. Looks like they're going to go into the break down by 21.
Where's that kid at? Throw the Hail Mary to the end zone.
And get him in again. Maybe start the second half with him.
Martirano under center. Council gets the call in the backfield. Goes up through midfield right at the Panther logo here at Camden High School. And the horn and the whistle sounds. That's going to be the halftime score, 21-0. We're going to take a step aside on the other side of the break. Noah Eaton, Rob Povia with the halftime show. Once again, you're listening to Camden Football here on A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com.
Hi, this is Matt Sudi of the Hockey Happy Hour. And if I want a night out in the town but I don't want to miss the Flyers, there's only one place I'm going to, the Philly Sports Bar. Located in 31 South Black Horse Pike in Runnymede, New Jersey, it has over 40 plasma and HD TVs with a brick oven and a 2-story deck. This sports bar has truly surpassed everyone's expectations. For the one-of-a-kind sports memorabilia to the life-size sports figures, this bar stays true to its name. The Philly Sports Bar also provides a quality service along with an outstanding variety of the finest liquors and well-known beers with a family-friendly environment for everyone, while remaining true to what they are, the best darn sports bar. So check out the Philly Sports Bar. You can give them a call at 856-939-4322, send them an email at info@phillysportsbar.com, or check out their website at www.phillysportsbar.com. That's the Philly Sports Bar in Runnymede, New Jersey.
HRHS.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back to beautiful Camden, New Jersey. Welcome into the Harry's Contracting halftime show, where it's Camden leading 21-0 at the half. I'm Noah Eaton. Joining me, Rob Povia. I'll give you the quick rundown of how it went down in the first half of play. It's simple. A little bit of sloppy play here in the early going. Highland had 2 turnovers in the first half. Camden had 1, which Highland did not take advantage of. That's being the story of the half, where Camden did take advantage of 2 critical Highland mistakes. So to kick it off here, Parker gets it started. How about that? Dymel Parker, one of the FBS recruits, had a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown, Rob, with 2:10 left in the first quarter. My, oh my, what a huge play that was. And at that time, that nullified a Camden muffed punt, where Highland had real good field position, drove down to the 1-yard line, threw an ill-fated pass that ended up in Parker's hands as he raced 99 yards the other way, giving the Panthers a quick 7-0 lead. So real quickly here, running down the 2 other scores, Damian Thomas got on the board with a 21-yard TD run with 5:25 left in the second quarter to give the Panthers a 14-0 lead. And then Terrence Moore tacked on the 3rd touchdown of the evening for the Panthers with a 64-yard touchdown run with 3:30 left in the half. So that's where we stand, 21-0. Mr. Povia, what do you got, my friend?
What it looks like here is that obviously Highland Regional, the Tartans, need to run the football. Their passing game has not equated to much success, and you finally got a pass on that goal line stance that you were describing for Camden Panthers. Returns it back 99 yards for the TD. They did not take advantage of their 1 turnover. Camden has. They really have looked good on offense for the brief minute or 2 that we've seen them on offense. They've mostly been on defense in this first half. You would think normally that would be a bad thing, but it's because their defense has been dominating, scoring points or putting them in position to score points. unfortunately, you almost had another touchdown return by number 14, who
Anthony Ford, yes, that was called back due to a penalty. The interception stood because it was a post-possession foul. So we'll clear it. It was a post-possession foul. It would have been a pick six, but that was brought back. But really, that hasn't stopped Camden at all. Why don't you run down a few defensive stats for us?
And that's why that was heading that way. There was a ton of defensive stats here. Really standing out, Ron Johnson, who plays tight end as well for this Camden Panthers team.
And Michigan bound next fall.
Absolutely. On the defensive end side, looking real strong with 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. You have, let's see here. Let me get the roster from you there, Mr. Eaton. And we got number 2 had 2 tackles, including that one for a touchdown return.
Yeah, he had two tackles.
Darnell
and
Parker.
Darnell Parker. He had a key interception return that got the Panthers on the board.
Absolutely. Now you have, let's see here, just matching up the names with the numbers. This is Brad Hawkins, too. Another great first half.
Another D1 recruit.
Yep, 3 tackles, forced a fumble. Unfortunately, Highland recovered that fumble, but still really hit that ball with his helmet, leading with that helmet, knocking it loose. Really good, strong play there. Also, there's a well-rounded tackling here. We have 3 tackles here, 2 tackles there, 15-5, 55, 56 up in there. Really, this defensive squad is looking almost as fast as the offensive squad for Camden. Can't say it quite because, geez, you blink an eye and they're gone. They're absolutely gone between Drew Harris, the quarterback, Damian Thomas. That 64-yard scamper from Terrence Moore, unbelievable speed up the sidelines.
This team has a lot of speed. They're loaded up and down, Rob. I mean, it's obvious that they're the better football team tonight. I mean, I'll give Highland credit. They did show some promise on the offensive side of the ball. Orlando Council had some good runs. They showed some ability to run in between the tackles, but the bottom line is Highland is not capitalizing on drives. They're turning the football over, and Camden is making big plays and taking full advantage. And that's what great teams do, and that's what Camden has done against, let's face it, an inferior opponent in Highland. Highland, the bottom line is what we discussed in the pregame show, the Legends Tap pregame show, that you needed to hold on to the football. You could ill afford to turn the football over, and Highland has already done it twice in this half. And, look, they've had a lot of trouble. And that's why they're down 21-0 at the half. Conversely, look, if you're Camden, I mean, you're not real happy about the muffed punt. But other than that, if you're Coach Dwayne Savage, you got to be pretty happy how the first half of the first game of the opening game of the 2015 season has went down.
Absolutely. Look, just as strong as they did against Woodrow Wilson in the finale on Thanksgiving Day. Drew Harris is 0 for 2 on the day, but the passes look sharp. They're just a hair underneath towards the receiver's feet. First game, we'll give him that, but he's looking good in the pocket. He also looks good breaking out of the pocket for a nice 35-yard run for a first down.
Well said. Dual threat.
Dual threat, absolutely.
No doubt. And by the way, folks, let me remind you, we're under a beautiful roof here, and if you need some roofing needs tended to, contact Martino Roofing. With more than 15 years of roofing experience, proudly serving Sewell, New Jersey, as well as Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the South Jersey area. You can phone them at 609-792-5103 or email martinoroofing@comcast.net or find them out on the web at martinoroofingllc.com.
Also want to let you folks know about Harry's Contracting sponsoring today's halftime show for a professional home improvement. Anything underneath the roof needs to be done. Contact Harry Ernst at 609-638-6336 or email him at mrmustang02@verizon.net. I know Harry personally does outstanding work, anything from tubs, tiles, floors, grouts, siding. He's got you covered. Harry's Contracting.
How about that? He does it all, and he's located in your neck of the woods there, Mr. Povey, at 50 Sherbrooke Road in Ewing, New Jersey. So absolutely a fine service indeed, and Harry is a great fella and friend of A2DRadio.com. So, Rob, what do you look for if you're head coach Brian Leary, what do you tell your Highland Tartans at the half?
Really hold on to the football, number one, first and foremost. Make smart throws, because every throw that I've seen has been into double coverage. Haven't seen the receiver nowhere in the neighborhood. You got to run the football more. Which will set up the pass. And on the flip side for Camden, them running the football should lead to a lot of third and fourth quarter passing plays successful to such players as Dustin Singleton, Brad Hawkins, Gian Perez. Certainly that's what I'm going to look for. And Highland's defense, they really need to step up their game defensively if they can get back into this game being down by 21 points.
I mean, for Highland, it's simple. You can't turn the football over, as you alluded to. I'll be honest, though. You're down by 3 scores, and we know Camden can move the football.
Yeah.
If you're Highland, you're going to have some successful completions. You're going to have to air it out a bit. Of course, you want to do it with some caution, but let's face it. What was I going to say? There we go. Camden's defense has been all over the field tonight, obviously holding the Tartans scoreless, forcing 2 Tartan turnovers. I mean, it really.
Tartan turnovers. Well said, sir.
Oh, thank you.
That's a tongue twister.
Well, hey, we do our best here at A2DRadio.com. And look, if you're Highland, obviously, you're the underdog coming in. And, of course, it's easy to say at halftime, oh, no, here we go again, especially after last season's result, losing 49-14 to this very same Camden team. But I think if you're Coach Leary, what you got to tell your kids is keep your poise. Let's tackle a little better, play defensive assignment football, limit yards after contact. We talked about that. They need to do a better job of that. Yes, they need to run the ball with counsel, but they're also going to have to take some chances through the air, unfortunately, being down by 3 scores.
Right.
It can't be 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, as good as the Camden defense has looked, and they've looked great, right? This Highland team has not looked bad on offense. They've ran the ball crisply. Their blocking up front is good and sound. You got to continue with that. I think they threw the ball a little too often in that first half. You got to run it, beat it down their throats. Not what I want to see today, or any of the Camden High School fans tuning in today. But we want to see competitive football here, and that's how you're going to get it.
And conversely, if you're Camden, you got to keep the foot on the accelerator. You don't want to let an inferior team like Highland back into the ball game. You want to keep your focus. You want to keep your team at their highest attention rate, and really to do that is to get off to a fast start.
Right. And we saw that in the beginning of the game, Noah. I didn't think they were really up for the opening whistle, and they were really a little bit.
I mean, they muffed a punt in the first half, and on Highland's possession there, technically their second possession. They did a nice job moving the football down to the 1-yard line, but again, it comes down to turnovers. You cannot turn the football over and expect to beat a great team like Camden.
And Camden can't look past a lower inferior team today. That's how it looked like from the opening whistle. Then they got their act together, but now they're coming back from the halftime up 21-0. Are we going to see that same letdown, or are they going to put their foot on their throats and kill this game, so to speak?
Knowing Coach Savage, I think you'll see anything but a letdown. I think they're going to come out ready to play, full focus, and I think they're going to really step on the gas in the second half and win going away. I mean, if you're Highland and you want any chance whatsoever of being in this ball game in the fourth quarter, they must hang on to the football. They're going to have to complete some passes downfield. You're going to have to take some chances and roll the dice here and there. But the bottom line is Camden certainly showed that they were the better team in the first half. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with more halftime action here on the Harry's Contracting Halftime Show. You're listening to Camden Football on A2DRadio.com.
Hey guys, Rob Povia here from Fantasy Dominance Now and the Hockey Happy Hour here on A2DRadio.com. And I got a quick question for you. Is your home in need of remodeling? Well, contact Harry's Contracting at 609-638-6336. That's 609-638-6336. Harry Ernst is the owner, and he's fully insured and licensed. And his prices are so low, you'll think he's insane. Mention A2D Radio, and you get 15% off the estimate. And if you give Harry the job, tack on another 5% off for a total of 20% off the job. That is insane. Contact Harry Ernst at 609-638-6336 or email him at mrmustang02@verizon.net. Harry's Contracting. Insane home improvements.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to the Harry's Contracting halftime show. So real quick, Pove, what are you looking for in the second half?
Well, number 10, Terrence Moore, had a great scamper there for 65 yards. One thing he should have came up with was an interception, being the third on the day for this Panthers squad. Hit him right between the 1 and the 0. Continue playing tough defense, especially on the corners.
All right, it's simple. If you're Camden, hold on to the ball, no letdowns. If you're Highland, you need a miracle. By the way, folks, stay tuned, because on the other side, Dan Fritz, Zach Burr, and Tom Arnone have all the second half action for you. Rob and I will be back for the post-game show once the game goes final. For Noah Eaton, Rob Povia, you've been listening to the Harry's Contracting halftime show here on A2DRadio.com. Dan, Zach, and Tom will be back on the other side for all the second half action. Stay tuned, everybody.
Doane Academy Basketball and A2DRadio.com. This season, the Doane Academy Basketball Coaches Show will broadcast live every week from Legends Tap, located at 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey, with an assorted menu of appetizers, Italian dishes, gourmet pizza, and of course, always the best selection of craft beers. Legends Tap has a menu that can only be defined as legendary. Come check out Legends Tap today.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Camden High School, as the public address announcer is telling everybody here in attendance as well. You can watch the rebroadcast, the video rebroadcast will be up later on tonight, A2DRadio.com. Dan Fritz, Tom Arnone, Zach Burr, for our producer on site, Mr. Matt Sudi. The halftime show, as you heard, guys coming back out onto the field, both teams 21-0, and we talked about this in the first half. If you're Highland, what are you telling your team? If you're Camden, what are you telling your team as we get set for second half action here from Camden City? And Zach, you and I were talking about on the break, both teams doing very well. I mean, for all things being equal, the scoreboard really not telling the true story as far as what's going on tonight. In fact, you have a young team in that of Highland across the way coming out their first game, and who do they draw? They draw the number 11 ranked team in the state, the Camden Panthers. And Camden, they had them on the ropes, as Tom made mention to in the first part. They're keeping them honest. If you just keep them honest and keep things going, you will do well as your season, as your program goes on. And even if you look at Camden's coach, this is his fourth year, and look what he's done for the program. He's turned things around for this program. He is on his way tonight to collect his 25th win at the helm for the Camden High School Panthers. So a night of history, regardless of what that scoreboard says off to our right. As the sun is setting, the beautiful colors to the sky, the lights in full blast, and we are getting set for second half action here at Camden.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights for real, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby,
the lights are on. This gets me excited. And let me tell everybody listening at A2DRadio.com, yes, you get live audio right now. Don't be worried. Oh, where's the video? Where's the video? Where's the video? It will be uploaded tonight when I get home. I'll upload the video for you. And again, we'll be here at all Camden home games. And excited to be here.
So as we get set to come into the third quarter will be brought to you by Obie's Catering, changing the world one dish at a time. Contact Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tom Arnone sent you, and you get 20% off. Tell him I sent you, you don't get squat.
40.
40. They're like, wait a minute, that guy? Oh, no, never mind. There's a fat joke in there. I just can't say it on the air. All right, the clock getting ready to reset. Both teams getting things set and squared away. And Tom, he's got that look on his face.
Well, if you tell him, right, you say Tom Arnone sent you, get 20% off. Then I go and tell him Tom Arnone sent me.
You don't get squat because you're Tom Arnone.
Well, I'm going to tell him I sent myself, and there's 20. So then literally we get 40% off combined.
If Tom tells him and then Dan tells him 20 plus 20 is 40. So there's your 40%.
Dan.
Okay, so you two graduated third grade math.
Yes.
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable.
I know I graduated third grade math. High school math was the problem. Once they started putting letters in it, I was all confused.
Letters in it.
That's called algebra, I think.
Danny, when you're over a pen, you don't hear that, do you?
Are you kidding?
Trigonometry was not my strong point, folks.
Oh, my God. You ask any college athlete, and they'll tell you, what, math class? Hey. I don't care
Danny,
what.
You talked about, Coach Leary. I'm sorry. I always want to throw the O in front of Leary.
He's Irish.
Coach Leary, trying to build a culture here, and a team we're going to cover tomorrow, Audubon, same thing. Some schools aren't big football programs, and it takes time for you to rebuild that football program, and it's tough to do. And, from what I saw tonight, they're going to win some games because they can flat out run the football.
Yeah.
And that's going to win them some games right there. I think at some point they're going to have to be able to throw the football to win more games. But to have them last in that conference is interesting to me because – you win running the football. And I think they're going to be able to steal some games that way.
They are going to be able to steal some things. And like we said before, you're rebuilding a culture. You're bringing a new coach, and you definitely want to have something. I mean, you pick any team. Pick any professional team. Pick any team out there as far as you want to rebuild a program. And what does your program, what does it stand for? What does it consist of? So Highland is setting things up as far as maybe being a predominantly running program. But with an opportunity and a couple of chances earlier that we saw, and that your passing game may sneak up on you. We all saw, what was the gentleman's name? Not Matthew McBride.
Biago Basikia.
Basikia. We saw Basikia rolling out right, and Basikia is listed in the program as 5'7".
Right.
I'm sorry, and forgive me if any fans of Highland listen, but we thought he was going to get creamed in the right wing.
Yeah.
That little guy rolled out right, and then he uncorked a cannon, and was just a half a step off.
Yeah.
Man, that's just an extra day of practice. That's just an extra repetition here and there. So that bodes well as far as the depth that Highland's going to have. And Camden was there just a few years ago.
Yeah.
So you see what Highland should look across the field at Camden, forget what the scoreboard says, and says, we want to get here. We want to get like this. This is what we want our program to develop up to.
Well, I think if you're Highland, and we talk about how well they've been able to run the football, even against this Camden defense, a defense that has how many phenomenal athletes, how many next level players for it. It's not every week they're going to face a defense like this.
And Tommy alluded to that earlier when we were talking. In that right now Highland is playing against a Division I college team.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. I mean, we said for all intents and purposes, it's Division I. Defensive line.
The opening kickoff comes over, goes right out of bounds at the 23-yard line. The flag goes up, so Highland will come out on the defensive side. Camden with the ball moving from right to left. Highland will be going left to right, and Camden will get things started once again. The scoreboard again, not really telling the story that's been going on. 21-0 is the score. We figured on this being the score at the end of the first quarter. But again, Highland keeping them honest, keeping things interesting. And we'll see how the second half plays out. We'll see if some of the reserves start to come out onto the field for Camden. But right now they're going to re-kick the ball, back things up a little bit. No time off the clock, obviously. And we'll try it again.
Well, you look at Camden, every time you look down at their roster, it's seniors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And big-time seniors, not just seniors. And you look on the other end of the football, Highland, and you're looking at younger kids, juniors, sophomores. So, hey, you got to build it. I mean, when you're playing against all seniors for the majority, it's tough when you're a younger team.
And that's a great point because Coach Leary talked about that before the game. He knows he has a young team. He knows they're going up against a very experienced Camden team. He just wants to see them play well, execute. I don't think it's as much about the result on the scoreboard for him.
Agreed. He just wants to see them get better. So, hey, how do we get better in the second half?
Devin Starks plants the right foot line drive right into the breadbasket of number 14 for Camden. He gets out to about the 48-yard line, and that was Dave Taplin. So hopefully he was paying attention and not going to remind us what he had for lunch earlier this evening, but that was right to the breadbasket. Gain of a couple, so Camden starting right about at midfield. The ball spotted the near side hash 48. Again, moving from right to left. The lights on. Friday Night Lights here, A2DRadio.com. Dan Fritz, Tom Arnone, Zach Burr, Matt Sensuti at the helm, bringing you high school football, the start of our 2015 broadcast season. Here, brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs, 703 Black Horse Bike in Glendora, New Jersey. Shotgun formation. Camden with a quick pass out to the right side with some room and a lane and out to about the 32-yard line. That was Brad Hawkins once again. His number been called numerous times, but a big gain gets him first down for his team.
Good and bad too, Danny. Sorry, good and bad for Brad Hawkins. You know, you had the fumble early, but he's really made up for it since then. And, you know, another senior, 6'2", 205, and you see the speed from Camden right there. A little pass outside, you know, maybe a 1-yard pass on the outside, and boom, Brad Hawkins turns into a 15, 20-yard gain.
And you see why he's going to play wide receiver at Michigan next year.
You're welcome, John Harbaugh.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ball spotted on the far hash 35-yard line. Did I say which one? Motion now coming right to left, slot to the near side. Under center of the ball, handed off to the left side. Camden now showing off its running game with some room to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown for Camden. Terrence Moore has put 6 more points up to the board for Camden.
It's the old speed burst in Madden right there. I mean, that is flat out flying. And you talk about a kid, another senior, but you talk about that's like their third running back doing this. I mean, this is amazing.
Second time today. How about the speed? Untouched for the second time to the house.
If you're talking about Highland, that's the issue.
That's your issue.
That's
your corners are going to be your issue because as soon as these guys are turning the corner and getting out into the wing, they're gone. They almost broke it earlier with the play to the far side, but that got out of bounds. But nonetheless, 6 more points for Camden, 27-0 here with 11:41 left to go in the third, pending the point after attempt from Wharton. The ball is down. Horton sends it up right between the uprights, and it is 28-0 here at Camden. And that is going to put Camden definitely to the driver's seat early in the second half.
Let me see if I get this right from covering high school football here. I believe once you have a 28-point lead or higher, clock continues to run. Is it 35? 35. I know. I'm in the ballpark, right? I'm in the ballpark.
Of course you're in the ballpark.
So 30.
It's not in the ballpark. He's in the parking lot?
So if it's a 35-point lead, the clock runs.
Doesn't he know? No?
Not 28.
How you doing, boss? I got to get past him to get out of here.
Yes.
Things may get ugly in the doorway of this press box in about 5 minutes.
I felt good saying that. I felt real good. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Nope.
Oh, I wasn't going to say it.
I'll say it for myself.
Felt real confident saying it as you looked at other people for confirmation, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm going to look to the real official down there and get his confirmation, not mine. I'm just a guy.
It's a good thing we don't have replay here in the booth.
Yes.
You just see, khakis? Okay. 11:41 left to go in the third quarter, so I'm going to get thrown out of here.
Don't cut that audio, Matt.
Matt, I'd like to talk to you about highlights later. Camden getting ready to kick off. Once again, right to left here under the bright lights in Camden City. End over end, low line drive. One hop touched, but picked up at the 15-yard line and pummeled at the 21. Highland will set things up deep in their own territory once again here in the third quarter.
Big hit.
Huge hit. If I'm Camden, pedal to the metal here. You talked about, late season losses in big games. I want my kids to continue to play.
Well, and this
you don't want to run it up, but continue to play.
And this is the point I was making earlier. You talked about the one lone loss that Camden had last year, and it came at all the wrong times in the postseason. You want to have a mentality in that. And again, asking the coach, how does he keep the boys focused? And I can't tell you his exact answer, but it was pretty much hinted towards keeping to the straight line, keeping things on course and where they need to be. The delivery of which the coach presented it was, again, not mentionable on the radio, but just keeping them in a single focus and to keep them going forward, regardless of what the scoreboard says, regardless of what the game is as well. And we'll see how it plays out as Highland comes out. And once again, they hand the ball up through the middle. Council room, fighting through. Council's spinning. He's still on his feet. Finally, they wrap him up at his knees. Council gained at least 7 more yards after he was supposedly down, getting the ball out to about the 36-yard line. And we have an injured Camden player on the ground. And the clock is stopped with 11:21 left to go. And we will see what happens with the training staff. But we will take a step aside. Once again, 11:21 left to go here in Camden. 28-0 is the score. You're listening to A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey, with over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Camden. Play is resuming. Highland on their 35-yard line. Under center, drops back. Long pass up the right wing, but not having enough of the target. The intended receiver out to the right side was Sean David. And Zach, like we said before, he's got the arm, but it looks like a little trouble as far as Martirano's accuracy in throwing out into the wings.
That was a better throw that time, though. He got some air underneath that one. It wasn't underthrown. He let his receiver try to run to it just a little too far.
Well, it didn't help Joshua Clark flat out laid him out on the throw, too, so that doesn't help the process one bit. But, the guy for Camden who was taken off the field, walked off the field on his own was number 10, Terrence Moore, who's had a heck of a football game, so he is okay.
Highland comes out of the huddle once again under center. Pro set. Handoff. Near side. Brought up at the line of scrimmage. That looked like, not sure if it was, Council's number get called again. Up through the middle, but 3rd and 10 now for the Tartans. I'm sorry, 3rd and called 11.
Can we rewind back to the big run by Council when you just kept trucking? But if you're Coach Leary, that's what you love. Continue to fight in a game that you're down 28-0 in, but you continue to fight. And that's the kind of run that gets the coaching staff excited.
That was Spencer Smith on the carry from what we could see up here. So now 3rd down, 11 to go, 10:20 left in the third quarter. Ball spotted just inside the 35-yard line, roughly in midfield. Highland comes out. No surprise, shotgun formation, slot to the far side. Camden with 4 on the line. Handoff Council, but to keep it. Now and Council couldn't reel it in. Started to turn before he had it, and that will bring up 4th down for the Tartans.
Achilles heel, guys. I mean, it's the Achilles heel of this Highland football team. If you look, one knock that you can say about Highland tonight is the inability to throw the football. That's a basic screenplay, maybe a little room to run, maybe not a ton, but at the end of the day, they're the ones you have to complete in this offense to keep the defense honest.
And Highland had a break, too, because Ron Johnson came over to the sideline for Camden, stretching his leg. He was not on the field for that 3rd down play, so they had a pass rusher not out there and couldn't take advantage of it.
Sean David on the field for Highland now, set to punt. Camden set up back deep at their 35-yard line. Here's the snap. David, line drive. Let's go to one hop. And they're just going to let it roll through and mark down at the 29-yard line. Getting the touch on it for Highland was Tyler Freets. May have gotten a few more yards on it if he let it go, but still, nonetheless, Camden set up roughly at about their 30-yard line. 9:56 left to go. They are up by 28.
Danny, you're playing this offense. You want it to roll as much as you can get. Every extra yard you can get out of that roll,
make the referee roll that, blow the whistle.
Guys, this is interesting. I think they're saying it hit one of the Highland Regional guys
early. I wondered if it did, but I couldn't tell from here.
They're moving it up another 5 yards to the 36.
We defer.
Well, 7 yards, actually, from the 29 to the 36.
Digress, whatever you want to say.
Can he spell that?
No.
Okay.
Let's not get him. My Waterbound education does not allow spelling.
I went to Riverside, so I'm not even going to argue that. Ball spotted the near side hash, 36. Camden with it. Once again, coming out. Harris in the shotgun. The slot to the near side.
I would love to see him go deep and connect on a pass.
Right down the middle. from the snap. Handoff, right side with some room, turning the corner, and once again with some room out to the wings and fighting down to about a 9-yard gain. Brad Hawkins getting the carry, so we'll bring up second and short for the Panthers. Ball going to be roughly spotted about 43, 44-yard line, depending on where they put it down.
Guys, I like that run and everything. What I don't like, he bounced a little too far outside. And I think against, when you start going up in competition and you start playing in playoffs, you're not going to get that run. That tackle's going to be made for a loss. And that's just one negative I can see out of that run. Get up, hit a hole, and go.
Coming out of the huddle, once again, Camden showing shotgun formation. Slot to the far side. Ball spotted the far side, hash 42. 9-10 left to go here in the third quarter from the snap. Draw play up the middle with room. Gets over the line. Camden has another first down. Ball going to be at the 47-yard line.
And that was actually number 20. DeMonte Anderson.
Yeah, DeMonte Anderson.
Not even listed as a running back. Senior, 6 foot, 155. So, they just they got a ton of talent.
Well, Hawkins carried the ball before that. He's also listed as a receiver, so obviously not really about where they're listed on the roster. They just want to get the ball in their playmakers' hands.
If it's the way it is, I'm about to go down and take a carry.
Well, so you got to be a playmaker, Tom. There was
Okay.
there was a big,
Also got to throw a hoagie up the middle of the field, too, because he ain't going to make that speed.
Italian.
I'll be right there. Why's it got to be Italian?
Oh, just saying.
Okay. Camden, once again, shotgun formation. Twin receivers both sides. Drop back. Here comes a fire over the middle. Ooh, bobbled and dropped at the 25-yard line. Unable to connect is going to be Perez. So second down for the Panthers. 10 to go. 8:23 left to go here in the third quarter. Camden now just not so much working on their reserves, but giving different looks with their starters and seeing what other plays they can do with. So now,
I love that play call, right?
It's a little higher on the pass.
Yeah, you need to float it out there a little more, make him go, put it out there, your receiver, let him go make a play. Just underthrew it a little bit.
Well, offensively, being this the first game of the year, Danny, is it possible that it doesn't matter where the score goes, we might see this offensive group stay in just to try to, gain some rhythm?
Let's see what we got. Shotgun formation now once again for Camden. Trip receivers right side, drop back, fires over the middle. This time it's caught.
Wow.
And with some room, Singleton works his way to the outside, got some room, gets a block, 10-5, touchdown for Camden.
Another senior gentleman, Singleton, catch after the run, but what a flat-out bullet by Harris right there. And that's the ball we wanted to see out of him, and he put it on the money and let his receiver go make a play after the catch.
A 53-yard touchdown strike for Camden, making it a 34-0 contest, pending the point after with 8:11 left to go here into the third quarter.
Yeah, that was a heck of a throw by Harris that time on the slant. He just winged that one over the middle, and Singleton made a great move to make the initial man miss.
Wharton once again will set up for the point after attempt.
You get this team in the open field, they're flat out dangerous.
The ball is down, spotted. Wharton line drive, a little to the left, but it is still good, 35-0. After it splits the uprights, Camden on top.
That home touchdown, guys, brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, the certified public accountants offering personal accounting and tax services, business services, consulting services, business, startup, navigation, and more, conveniently located in Yardley, Pennsylvania, just minutes from I-95, Route 1, and the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Make sure you call 215-369-3300 or visit them at gibsonmayer.com.
Danny, what's the score?
35-0. I think I just said that a second ago.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying now I can go and say, now the clock runs, gentlemen.
Now you're right.
What's he going to do if that clock doesn't keep running?
Well,
going to talk to the clock guy.
Yes.
And then I'll take a walk down there. I wonder what's going on. I don't mind it now, but when we get in November and we're freezing, we're going to be begging for 35-point leads.
We might be begging for November soon enough up here, as hot as it is.
So we've been toasty. Camden set for the next kickoff. Again, 8:11 left to go here in the third quarter. Camden kicking from right to left as Wharton surveys his kick team. On the referee's whistle, Wharton plants the right foot. Nice end over end kick down to about the 20-yard line. Highland brings it upfield through the middle with a couple of blocks, runs into traffic, and getting knocked down at about the 32-yard line is going to be Nicholas Malisi. And he gets Highland set up once again.
Ball is down around the 32-yard
32-yard line for the Tartans.
By the entire Camden student body on the tackle, which is my go-to when I don't know who tackled.
Probably give 4 Camden Panthers the credit for that tackle, Tommy.
I'm not
Half a
keeping-
tackle each.
Let's talk to our stat guys about that one.
Goes down as a half a tackle.
Half a tackle for everybody.
As we said, the opening night for A2D Radio's football season. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., Audubon High School. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast as Camden High School trying to take care of business against Highland, 35-0. Highland with the next drive starting for them. Handoff to Council. He goes out to the right end and a gain of about 6. Again, keeping the ball moving on the ground for Highland. So, again, you have to look at the positives of what this team's putting out today.
Yeah, and you look at number 8, Keyshawn Simmons for Camden coming up. Only a junior, 5'11", 190, coming up trying to make the stick right there on Council. But you got to love the way Council's running the football.
And Council is just a true running back. He gets in, he lowers the shoulder, he drives. The only way you're bringing that boy down is if you can wrap his legs and get them out from underneath him.
When you talk about true running back thing, he's a guy who loves the contact. Like you said, he wants the contact.
Don't try to arm tackle him.
Not going to happen. Highland comes out now, I formation. Camden with 4 on the box and jumping once again from the left tackle position for Highland. They're going to get backed up 5 more yards, And that looks like
doesn't help.
Lewandowski once again got caught for moving. So they'll back up the Tartans.
Surprising we haven't seen more, to be completely honest with you. A lot of times when you got a lot of scrimmages, you're playing a ton of scrimmages, your first game of the season, you see a lot of teams rusty in terms of, lining upright, jumping off sides, holding. You see a lot more of that. But that going to say, you got your officials in the same way, that they're getting the feel for the first game of the season too.
Well, Highland had that scrimmage against Overbrook earlier this month, so they should at least have the majority of the rust knocked off.
Yeah, it's still scrimmages, though. It's closed environment. I mean, it's almost like a padded environment. It's nice and easy. You do what you want to do.
Highland now comes out of formation. Single setback Council, once again fighting his way up through the middle. He'll gain about 4 or 5 more up the near side hash marks, bringing the ball out to about the 37-yard line. 5:40 left to go here in the third as they're trying to move the chains, and about third and call it 5.
Number 72, Andrew Baez checking in the game. Defensive lineman, 5'10", 238. That's a lie.
That 238?
5'10's a lie. Look at him.
238?
Look at him. He's the biggest guy on the field right now. They listed at 5'10".
That is what they call, in layman's terms, gentlemen, a large human.
Usually they pad the rosters. You know what I mean? Give a guy an inch, a couple pounds. And that's why Max Preps is terrible. But that's an argument for another day.
Highland comes out of the huddle again, still staying under center. Council in the backfield. Camden with 4 men on the line. Here's the snap. Handoff, Council. He cuts right, comes back off the right side. Will gain a few, but he's going to come about a yard short, bringing up 4th and 1 with just under 5 minutes left to go.
Another injury.
And we have
It's a Highland player.
Highland player, but he's sitting up.
The Council?
I think it might be.
Can't see
that
from
was
where.
more on the tackle, too, guys. Terrence Moore for Camden. Coming up making a good open field tackle.
I do not see Council, and again, our view is blocked from the Camden bench, and that would be very devastating. So we're going to take a step aside, see what happens after the break. Once again, 35-0 is the score. 4:46 left to go here in the third. You're listening to A2D Radio, A2Radio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Martino Roofing. With more than 15 years of roofing experience, they have all the services that you need, whether it's new construction, tear-offs, replacements, or re-roofs for your residential or commercial business. They'll provide a detailed service in a timely and professional manner. So you can give them a call for a free consultation at 609-792-5103. Send them an email at martinoroofing@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.martinoroofingllc.com. The number again is 609-792-5103. Martino Roofing. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. With over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
You're listening to Camden High School football on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Camden, and unfortunately the Highland Tartans' worst nightmare coming into the start of the 2015 season may have just been realized, as Orlando Council was just helped off the field. Had to have help. Looked like he was favoring his right knee.
Really ginger.
Guys, that's terrible. I mean, this is a team we talked about can steal some games because of the running game. Now you got to need somebody to step up.
4th and 1, Camden dancing. Did they jump
I
enough?
think they did. Into the neutral zone.
We'll see who gets the call, and it is Camden, so that's going to be enough. A hard count from Gabe Marzarano gets Camden to jump, so now 1st and 10 for Highland.
Gets Thomas for Camden, number 1, jumped off sides in the neutral zone.
That's one way to do it if you're Highland.
Well, now you have to now we talked about sticking to the game plan, so now what is your game plan? Now that you have Council, he's done for at least the night. We hope not for any further, but the way he was coming off the field, we fear that may be the possibility. But Highland still comes out at I formation. Yeah. Now in the backfield is Paradise. The handoff. Paradise takes it. He gets some room, fights his way through and over midfield, and gets brought down at about the 46-yard line.
Tommy, I saw the same thing you did. He just ran over Darren Wharton Jr. of Camden.
Well, listen, I mean, you talk about what are they going to do? Paradise, 5'9", 175, a junior, not as big, as the other back, as Orlando Council, but hey, still run hard. And if you talk about, Danny, if you're Highland, what do? I mean, you are one-dimensional. You are who you are. So I don't think you can come out slinging the ball around the field now. I think you got to continue to try to run the football behind a good offensive line.
Highland once again the I formation. Paradise the deep back. Ball spot. Snap. Paradise fights his way up through the middle again, and he gets over the line. 1st down for Highland as the Camden Band has come back into things.
Yep.
For as quiet as they were 10 minutes ago, I thought they were done for the night, but that would not be the case as they are getting things back into it with a great crowd on hand for both teams, as Camden well represented in the stands, Highland on the far side as well, but also along the fence line to the scoreboard to our right. So a good crowd on hand. Friday Night Lights, thank you for joining us here in Camden. A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com, as Highlands trying to just get some points on the board. They're down 35-0, 2:37 and counting left to go, as Martirano comes out now shotgun with some motion near side. Handoff once again through the middle, rolling up just for about 5 or 6 more yards. Once again, Paradise gets the call. So,
geez, he runs hard, guys. For a small kid at just 175 pounds, boy, does he run downhill.
Those are the ones you've got to be afraid of. Those little guys, it's like they always say, you try to get the biggest guy in the fight, you got to watch for the little guy, too, because any little guy's just going to run you over. He's not going to quit.
Well, you can hide behind the line, too, guys. This is another big factor of it. When you're smaller, it's tough for the linebackers and defensive linemen to see you sometimes, and that helps pick up some more yards.
Where is he? Oh, I didn't see him hiding behind your shin. 2nd down and about 6. 1:50 left to go. Highland on the move, now down to about the 38-yard line. Movement on the line again as flags go up. And this time it is false start against the offense. So as Highland gains a few steps, they get a few taken back from them. They'll back them up 5 more yards. And now Highland is looking at a second and call it 11 with the ball spotted middle of the field and about the 43-yard line.
Hasn't that been the story of the entire night? Take a few steps forward, take a few steps back. A few steps forward, 5 forward, 10 back. I mean, that's been the story for the entire night. That sums up the entire game. We don't even need a post-game show.
Sure, Noah Eaton.
He might like that.
May object to it.
He might say, but that's all we got to say for the postgame. Come on for a minute.
70 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Highland with the ball now. Handoff to the right side with some room out to the wing and fighting his way through. Isaiah Bowers on the carry. He gets down to about the 40-yard line. So third and long once again for the Tartans as they still are within Camden territory. The clock winding again at 45 seconds and counting as we set to go. Fans, if you like what you're hearing so far on A2D Radio, don't forget, Tuesday nights, Tom Arnone live breaking down all the latest that is to be discussed in sports talk. Tom Arnone live Tuesday nights here on A2D Radio, a2dradio.com. Opening night for us for high school football. Again, for our producer on site, Mr. Matt Sassuti, Dan Fritz, Tom Arnone, Zach Burr with you. Hope you are enjoying the action as Highland trying to work left to right on the screen with the ball spotted near sign hash, roughly the 42-yard line. Power formation to the left, drops back, pass over the middle and almost intercepted by Camden as getting a hand to it was Don Wharton. Fully extended the right hand up, almost a la Odell Beckham Jr. extension, but just could not reel it in. Highland keeps the ball, but it'll be fourth down.
I believe that was Bowers that was over the middle of the field for Highland, and Martirano had him too. He just missed the throw.
Well, I mean, story of the night again, guys. I mean, he's had guys, he's overthrown them, underthrown them. Thrown it to the wrong team. I mean, I think that when you talk about the Achilles heel of Highland right now, it's the inability to throw the football.
So, again, look at the positives of which Highland can take away from this. Again, we talked about the first drive, but hopefully Highland can come to the realization that they are only, 1 or 2 steps away from, of this being a good team and getting back up into looking at the Royal Division of the West Jersey Football League as the clock expires and we're getting ready to set things up for the fourth quarter. Last year's results, again, Camden ran the table, 5-0, 9-1 overall, followed in order by Camden County, Bishop Eustace, Cumberland, Highland themselves, and Woodrow Wilson rounded out the table. The projected results this year, Camden Catholic, Woodrow Wilson, Cumberland, Bishop Eustace, and then they're bringing in Highland as far as last. In Royal Division action tonight, Woodrow Wilson is at Bishop Eustace, Camden Catholic at Cumberland, but a little tie into that Woodrow Wilson game. Woodrow Wilson, first-year head coach and former Camden offensive coordinator, Preston Brown, returning to his alma mater and trying to reestablish things for the Woodrow Wilson program as well. So the Royal Division is going to be a fun division to watch this year as we break things down for the 2015 campaign. But right now, Highland just try to get all the positives they can from tonight. Coach New going in. You're talking about one of the top teams in the state. You're talking about, as we said before, practically a Division I college team sitting on this field right now, even with some of the reserves in as they are. But still, keeping it, that scoreboard should read a lot more to nothing than what it is. But Highland has been keeping things honest, and just the little errors, as Tom mentioned earlier. A step or two here and there as far as your timing and developing the youth of this program. And these guys are going to be back up towards the middle part of the table.
Yeah, and you look at Camden, you talk about 4 guys going, FBS and 1 going to FCS, Hawkins, Johnson going to Michigan. You got Parker and Holloway going to Syracuse. So it's good to see these kids going together, too. 2 going to Michigan, 2 going to Syracuse. It helps them out, going to the next level, going with somebody But like you said, I mean, this team is loaded.
As we start the fourth quarter, shotgun pass out to the right wing and just can't get it again. It's that over-the-shoulder pass that Martirano just cannot connect on, and it is incomplete. We cannot see who the intended target was from our side, but the fourth quarter here for 82 Radio brought to you by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control, your local pest control provider, family-owned and operated. Call them at 856-341-3927. Romeo's Termite and Pest Control bringing you the fourth quarter here on H2D Radio, h2dradio.com.
And Tom, that big kid for Camden, Albert Stevens, the 6'7", 289-pound defensive tackle, is back in the game. He's checked in again here on fourth down.
Yeah, well, listen, he had him one-on-one, too. We talk about one-on-one. He had him one-on-one. But you know why we're having trouble seeing that end of the field? We got some lights out up there, so that's why we're having trouble seeing that end of the field. But listen, he's getting the one-on-one coverage that you're asking for. He's got to connect.
So now first down and 10 for Camden, working left to right. Ball spotted at the Camden 40-yard line, the far side hash. Camden coming back out with some motion near side, dropping back Harris. Harris looks down towards the right side with some room, but just can't get it. Again, a couple of steps past.
Well, somebody ran the wrong route there. Okay, you got two guys running up the right side of the football field, and Harris threw it. You had numbers.
And Hawkins and Simmons.
And Hawkins is looking at Simmons saying, hey, where are you going? This is my route. So some miscommunication there for Camden.
Simmons immediately comes to the bench in favor of Joshua Clark.
Obviously ran the wrong route. Telling sign, if you run the wrong route, you go to the bench for a second.
Second and 10, ball on the Camden 40-yard line. Clock running with 10:15 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Camden on top 35-0 under the Friday night lights as the huddle breaks, comes out. Harris once again will set up, this time he's under center, I formation. Harris drops back, pitch right, flag immediately goes up as trying to turn the corner is Thomas.
That's a quick holding call. If that's what that is. That's quick. That flag
False
was up.
start.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
yeah, that's
that had to be an illegal formation of some time.
Why don't you blow it dead off the bat then?
false start. I think it was just a matter of the timing itself as referee Bill Murphy gets the call from the line judge. They are declining it.
What?
Why?
It's a dead ball. Okay, whatever. Move on.
Well, a false start would make it a dead ball.
Yeah.
Maybe the illegal formation is it's not a dead ball. It's a little bit different, maybe.
That's not the sign I saw out there, though, but that's fine.
I saw false start. That's above my pay grade. I'm not wearing the
me too.
The black and white stripes tonight. So, third down, 10 to go. Camden with the ball near side. Under center, Harris once again I formation, handoff up the middle, bounces off to the right tackle, now working his way out to the right wing with room and gets out of bounds at about 10 yards. Joshua Clark on the carry and should have enough to move the chains as the line judge puts it down at the 50-yard line.
Joshua Clark, the fullback, senior, 6'2", 205. Threw a little stiff arm here on the sidelines here. A nice, strong, stiff arm when he's working the sidelines. Got himself an extra yard or two. Looks strong as a fullback.
Enough to move the chains, so first and 10. Clock running, under 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Camden on top, as we said, 35-0.
Again, Highland, D-backs, linebackers, struggling, open field tackles. It's continuing. Everything Camden does, they can bounce outside on Highland because their D-backs are not tackling all too well right now. Just noticing more as it goes on.
As they break the huddle, Camden comes out to midfield, the near side hash mark, once again under center. I formation as Harris gets his men in order. 8:25 left to go. As Harris takes the snap, pitch left side. Cuts back right, caught in the backfield, but will get wrapped up. Brad Hawkins, once again on the carry, but just could not elude the rushing defensive line of the Tartans. So that'll back him up 5, and that brings up 2nd and 15.
Matthew Pendergrass on the tackle for Highland. Junior, 6 foot, 226. Good, strong tackle.
Tom, and I know you continue to talk about it specifically when Hawkins when he takes handoffs, but you don't like the dancing. You're not a big fan of that guy that dances in the back.
No, listen, you hit, then you dance. Right? I mean, you hit, you get to the first tier, you get past the first tier, that's when the dancing starts, right? You hit the whole first 2 yards, hey, I'm going to find my whole pound it. Now I dance. Now I make you miss.
So there.
That's what I mean. Listen, talk to people higher than me, they'll probably tell you the same thing.
Camden now in a shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right side of Harris. 7:18 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Harris trying for a hard count, doesn't get it. Handoff right side. Once again, Hawkins. Hawkins with some room out in the wing, gets out through, and depending on the spot, might have enough for a first down as he fights his way into Highland territory and down to about the 40, and they mark it just shy of the line. So that'll bring up 3rd and short with 6:53 and counting, and look for Camden to just run it right up the middle here.
Yeah, That's the kind of run I like right there, Zach.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It was one cut, go.
Yeah.
He found it. There was nothing in. He bounced out quickly and hit the hole and went. And then he danced after the first tier. That's a strong run. That's the run I like.
And at 215 pounds, you see how hard he is to tackle once he's running downhill.
At this level, get past the first tier, pound the football.
Harris now shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the left side. Harris from the snap. Handoff. Fake handoff. Harris keeps it. He's got some room right side. Harris working out towards the wing. Gets down to the 25-yard line before he gets forced out of bounds. So 1st and 10 for Camden, keeping the ball on the ground and moving the chains. 6:08 and counting left to go here in the 4th.
Danny, Zach, Harris's X factor is going to win them a lot of football games this year. You know, the ability to run in the pocket, be able to make things happen with your feet, that's big for this football team moving forward.
And I don't think they do it too much with him. They don't call a lot of designed runs, so it really does become a weapon when he uses it, strategically like he is today.
Yeah, when you have this much talent on the football field, you don't need to call it all the time, right?
Harris now shotgun formation with Hawkins off to his left. 3 receivers far left side, ball spotted, the near side hash, 26-yard line. 5:35 left to go in the 4th. Handoff, Hawkins, right side, finds a lane, bounces off of one of his own players, gets some room, little high step to the house. 6 more points for Camden. They are now up handsomely with 5:29 left to go. The score, pending the point after, 41-0.
Guys, that's a power run, right? I mean, that's all 215 coming right out to the right side. Now, listen, does he like to bounce out a lot? Yeah, he does, but he has the speed to do it. But he's not dancing in the backfield. He's finding it. Hey, nothing in the middle. Let me bounce it out. And a hard run. And nobody's going to tackle him one-arm tackles with him. You better wrap and take him to the ground because you're not tackling him with one arm.
Brad Hawkins touchdown brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC. The certified public accountants are sponsors for all home team touchdowns here on A2DRadio.com.
Boom.
What he said. Wharton set up once again for another point after attempt. 5:29 left to go to make this a 42-0 contest as they wait for Kayshawn Simmons to come in off the bench.
Missing one.
I ran the wrong route before. You want me to go out there now? Get in there. High snap. The ball's down. Kick. Up through the uprights. It's now 42-0 in favor of Camden on their opening night here for 2015.
Got to be impressed by, the kicking game. He's not booting, 40-yard field goals, but he's making his extra points. And when you go deeper into this football schedule, you got Camden Catholic, you got Cumberland, you got playoffs, you got to make them. You got to make them, and that's a good start by him.
And all of his kicks tonight, -1 down here to our left, have been right down the middle, right between the uprights. I mean, I'd say he's probably got about a good 25, maybe 30-yard range. As Tom Arnone just steps inside, the band's just...
Yeah, band's going. I come on inside with you. But, I mean, Zach, you got to be impressed by what you see. Danny, I mean, you got to love what you're seeing.
It's become dominant out here in the second half.
I think this is what we expected. And, they're getting their footing right, too. I mean, this is their first real game. Like I said, preseason, all these scrimmages, they're all closed environments. You run the plays you want. You run 15 plays. The other team run 15 plays. So...
Wharton once again sets up for the kickoff. 5:29 left to go. The kick coming from left to right. End over end kick down to about the 10-yard line, fielded by Highland. Highland up through the middle, dodging the first couple of defenders for Highland with the carry. Brandon Paradise once again getting the call for the injured Orlando Council earlier in this quarter.
Guys, how good can this football team be? I mean, right now you're talking about number 11 in the state of New Jersey. Do you see the ability playmakers defensively? Now, they got gashed up the middle a lot, but they have the ability to rebound from that and crack a top 10 in the state of New Jersey.
I'll give you a crack at top 10. I'll give you like maybe 9 or 10 spot. I mean, you look at some of the other competition that's ahead of them as well, and they may not be able to get up to that status. If you're looking as far as that, then yes, they do have just a couple of little things to tend to and to take care of as well. But as far as tonight, opening night, good start. You're up 42-0. The clock running, 4:40 left to go here in the 4th quarter.
Drew Harris, a little stat, 55 rushing yards. That was a 52-yard TD pass. Was that 52 yards?
Yep.
That's the stat I got.
Touchdown pass was 52 yards.
52 yards, okay. Brad Hawkins, 35 yards in the second half and a TD. So.
Okay. Terrence Moore obviously has had a couple long touchdown runs, one in the first half and then one here in the second.
Nothing to really sneeze at, but again, the story on the scoreboard, 42-0, tells so much of the tale as far as for the Camden side of the ball. But again, Highland coming out. You'd love to see him get just a couple of points onto the board. But we have 4:34 left to go here in the fourth as Highland comes out with the ball spotted midfield, their 25-yard line. Snap. Council back in the game. Council takes the handoff and goes up for a couple of yards.
In a 42-0 game.
Why? I don't know. Why? Hey, bigger than that real quick. We talk about top teams in the state of New Jersey, and I would, you talk about 4 guys FCS, 1 FBS. I would love to see the other teams. How many big divisional players do they have? How do they match up? And that's what would be interesting to see down the road here.
So does a game like tonight also affect maybe your fantasy high school draft?
Yeah, it could.
But if you want more on Fantasy Dominance, check out Fantasy Dominance here on A2D Radio. Tuesday nights, Fantasy Dominance on A2DRadio.com. As Highland comes out of the huddle, handoff, nice no-look, handoff to the right side. Isaiah Bowers with the carry. He gets out to the wing and gets down to about the 35-yard line. So a nifty little handoff by Martirano, able to no-look handoff to Bowers, and it's enough for the first down. Highland moving the chains as the ball is spotted on the far side, hash mark 37. Clock running with 3:20 left to go. 42-0 is the score in favor of Camden.
And we talk about Camden, how dominant they've been. That means Coach Dwayne Savage's plan to keep these guys focused has worked pretty well here today, Danny.
Yeah, especially with the adjectives he provided to us pregame.
Job well done.
Very well done, sir. Handoff now, Council with the ball in the backfield, and Council bounces his way out, showing no signs of the injury before, gets his way out to the sideline for a gain of about 7. So Council still showing that he is a contributing factor to this game tonight.
Yeah, why? That's my question. I mean, you got a long season ahead of you, and you're trying to win some football games, and I understand the kid might be ready to go, but, rest him up. It's 42-0. Get him ready for week 2.
So the ball spotted on Highland's 43-yard line. Second down, 4 to go. Highland comes out of the huddle. 2:20 left to go here in the fourth. Under center.
Paradise is in the background this time, guys.
Paradise, the deep back, takes the handoff up the middle. Paradise with room, up the hash marks. He's got 35-30 and gets brought down. So a great run by Paradise to move the chains for Highland to, if nothing else, get a couple of points to the board as we break. 2 minutes left to go here in this fourth quarter. Once again, the fourth quarter brought to you by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Give them a call, 856-341-3927. Romeo'sPestControl.com, our sponsor for this fourth quarter action here on A2D Radio, A2DRadio.com. Camden City starting things off for the 2015 broadcast season. The Highland Tartans on the drive through the midfield now at the Camden 30. Handoff, Paradise to call again. Gets bounced up at the line, but still fights for about 4 or 5 more yards depending on the spot. Forward progress still being obtained as we are about 80 seconds away.
How about this? I mean, you're talking about Highland, get a touchdown here to end this game. That's a huge momentum builder going into week 2.
Yeah.
That's something you can build off for a first-year coach in Leary, trying to build a program here. That's how you build programs, by, not giving up, getting a late score, and you can build off of it in the film room when you check it out this week.
And Highland staying on the road on the 18th. They will be at Bordentown, then at Triton starting October before they're back home versus Woodrow Wilson on the 9th of October. Taking the snap now, pass to the near side corner.
Oh, he had it.
Thought he dropped it for incomplete. Thought there might have been a flag, but none was called.
Alberic Small was open, too. He had his man beat.
That's a good ball.
Yeah, that time
that's
finally.
No question. That's a good
That
ball.
was the best ball Moderado has thrown all evening into the corner, trying for 6, but the clock running, 30 seconds left, as Highland's probably just going to get one more play off.
You can build off that throw.
Small made a great move to get open. He had a step on his man. The ball was there. He just didn't catch it.
Yeah, I don't know if the lighting helps him at all down there in the corner of the end zone. I mean, you see it. It gets dark down there. There's a couple lights out up here. It probably doesn't help it.
As they come out of the huddle, 10 seconds left to go. This will be the final play. Moderano gets set under center. Drops back, going to look for the end zone. Sets, fires, far side, wide open, and misses the pass as the clock expires. And that will be your final score, 42-0 Camden starting things off right on their home turf. Highland 0-1, and more importantly, for head coach Dwayne Savage, his 25th win for the program under his call. He improves his record to 25-7-0. That will wrap things up as far as for us on the broadcast side for a moment. Zach Bird, Tom Arnaud. Gentlemen, thank you very much. For our producer on site, Mr. Matt Sudi. Stay tuned for the postgame show. Once again, your final score, 42-0 on the other side. The postgame show here on h2dradio.com.
If you're interested in buying, selling, or renting a house, call Kingsgate Realty at 856-931-1200. Ask for Patrick Bokikio or visit their website at kingsgatere.com, located at 57 West Kings Highway, Mount Ephraim, New Jersey.
H2dradio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Camden High School football on a2dradio.com.
Welcome back to beautiful Camden, New Jersey, here on the Legends Tap postgame show. I'm Noah Eaton. He's Rob Povia. We're just going to run down how it all went down as Camden High defeats Highland 42-0. A thorough dominating performance by the Camden Panthers. Real quickly, Parker got the Panthers on the board early in the first quarter with a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown, and also Damian Thomas and Terrence Moore each found the end zone as well. It was 21-0 at the half, Rob. It's simple. Highland had a lot of trouble moving the football tonight, especially in the second half. And really, it was all Camden as Brad Hawkins, Justin Singleton, and Terrence Moore once again find the end zone in the second half. It's simple. Thanks to Moore, Thomas, Hawkins, Drew Harris had a nice game, and their whole plethora of weapons. Camden kicks off their 2015 campaign with a 42-0 win and start the season with a record of 1-0.
And let the party begin, as you're hearing here on the airwaves on a2dradio.com. Rip-roaring crowd, the band loving this victory, a 42-0 whitewashing. One thing I'm concerned about is Terrence Moore with that knee injury early in the third quarter after those two touchdowns. Did not come back to this game. I think it was more precautionary than anything else. In a game, in a potential route at that point. No, not really chancing him to be injured possibly, but fabulous game for Terrence Moore. Great game for Drew Harris on that 52-yard bomb, absolute bomb to Justin Singleton there. And what can I say? It's exactly what we expected. I would have expected Highland to put a couple points on the board, but nice shutout.
What we could say is Camden's weapons they went off like fireworks, and definitely a lot of big plays throughout this ball game. Obviously, Singleton finding the end zone, as you mentioned, from 52 yards out, thanks to a Drew Harris bomb. The bottom line is Camden showed that they were the better football team tonight, and Highland's inability to take advantage of the few Camden mistakes really cost them.
Absolutely.
Their inability, and let's face it, their inability to keep up with Camden's speed.
Too much talent, too much speed for them to keep up with. The post-game show is being brought to you by Philly Sports Bar, 31 South Black Horse Pike, Runnymede, New Jersey. You can give them, you can look them up online, phillydiner.com. And Friday night in Camden, Runnymede not too far. If you want to grab a post-game drink, no better place than the Philly Sports Bar.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hey, if you're in the Burlington area, if you happen to be taking in a Burlington City High School football game, also you can stop off at Legends Tap at 318 High Street in Burlington. You can phone them at 609-386-3001.
Brad Hawkins, number 6 on the Camden Panthers squad, had a fabulous second half stepping in for Terrence Moore. Had 3 carries, 1 for a loss initially, but put up a 15-yard scamper and a 25-yard touchdown, totaling 35 yards and the TD. Shows really their depth in running back on this squad.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What can I say? Camden got the job done tonight under beautiful, clear skies. And who gets the Pope Award, bud? Who is your player of the game?
It's got to be Terrence Moore. 2 touchdowns on the game, over 100 yards rushing. Matter of fact, 99, 1 yard shy. If you had him on your fantasy team, you were hating him. No fantasy teams in high school, but definitely the Pope Award goes to Terrence Moore. Hopefully that knee gets well. I want to quickly mention, on a slightly somber note, despite the band in the background, I did want to dedicate this whole broadcast from pregame to postgame to a member that we lost for the A2DRadio.com family, and that's Larry, definitely the mascot of A2DRadio.com. You might have heard him several times on several of our great shows on here in the background. Certainly one of the best dogs ever. Really going to miss him. Really heartwarming shout out to the our known family. Larry will be missed.
Larry, rest in peace, my friend. Camden got the job done. They did what great teams are supposed to do, and they took care of business tonight. And it all started with the 99-yard interception return by Parker, and really the Panthers kept their foot on the accelerator and they moved to 1-0.
Absolutely.
So,
well, that being said, you see the Panthers squad being, taking it off the field. So we're going to wrap up this broadcast for Dan Fritz, Zach Burr, Tom Arnone, Matt Sensudi, Noah Eaton. I'm Rob Povia. Thanks for joining us. Catch us next time, Camden High School Football on A2DRadio.com.